This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with our latest movie or show review and what we're getting into next. We're your host, Cheryl.
And Jay.
All right, so this week we have 2 TV shows instead of 2 Well, yeah, we did have 2 movies last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have Severance and we have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Really need to shorten that title up. But Jay's on deck for trivia, so which one you got one for?
So it's going to be trivia for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay, hit it.
Okay, so Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man stars Spider-man, and he always has a sidekick. In this show, it's Nico Minoru.
Okay.
Plays his sidekick, but he was going to have a different new friend for the first day of school in the original series plans. This is a character that's already been introduced in the MCU.
Oh, I know this.
Via a series.
I don't know this. Via a series?
Yes, this is a character who's in the MCU, but was introduced via a series.
So it's not Ned.
No, he was not introduced via a series.
Right.
There's been a lot of series that have introduced new characters.
They got to be a kid.
No. This character was introduced as an adult in the MCU. So they were going to do a kid version of this character as his best friend in school.
Phase 1? Or earlier phase or later phase?
Right after phase 1. Post New York. This character was introduced post New York.
Doctor Strange?
No.
Even though,
They're not in the show.
Oh, they're not in the show.
They have not made an appearance in the show.
Peter Quill?
Oh, no. Not introduced via a series.
Oh, okay.
You want to think of an MCU character that came from a series.
Oh. Monica Rambeau?
No. Okay.
Okay.
You're in the ballpark.
I mean, okay. A series?
It was still going to be a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agatha?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Too far off. I'm going to give it one more shot.
This was introduced early, so we're thinking right after. Think of characters that were introduced right after Avengers 1.
Shuri? No, she was not.
No.
That's a movie. I don't know.
It's a good one. It's one you like.
Oh, darn.
It's one of the series that you enjoy.
Was it... It can't be anybody from Loki, because they were all TVA agents.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. So it's only Loki, WandaVision.
All Marvel series. Think all Marvel series.
Oh, okay.
All series that are about characters that are in the MCU.
Okay, somebody from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, you're outside of the box. You're warming up, but no.
Okay. Luke Cage? No, you said a woman.
You're getting close.
What's my girl? Misty Knight.
No, but closer.
Okay. Jessica Jones?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I literally went through every show, every movie, it feels like.
Yeah.
And they were going to do a young Jessica Jones.
Yeah, they were going to do
Would she would have still had her powers? Or her...
We're not sure because Nico Minoru technically doesn't have powers yet.
If
she has powers.
I don't even know where she's from.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get into that. But no, everybody in MCU has powers.
Yeah, you're right.
Jessica Jones was originally going to be the teenage best friend, a new friend for Peter Parker when he goes to school.
That would have been cool.
There was a particular comic run where she was introduced as a teenager, also attending Middletown High.
Okay.
So that would have been interesting, but they went with Nico instead. So.
I wonder if they asked it because Jessica Jones coming later.
I think they want to still do stuff with Jessica Jones.
Right. So I wonder if they were like, no, we can't have her in 2 places.
They use Nico because that gives them an opportunity to put somebody new on the board too. So.
Also that. Okay. Yeah. Pretty cool. I got it right. It took me 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But I got it right anyway.
And it was originally going to be called Spider-Man Freshman Year. So Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was going to have a shorter name.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Now, why didn't they keep that? Because that is way easier on the tongue.
And the second season was going to be
sophomore year.
Now,
come on. All right, I have a comment card I need to fill out because that is much better.
It was going to be shorter.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Anywho.
All right, so that is the trivia for this episode. Let's get into the rest of the episode. Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. right, we got new movies, we got trailers, we got Buncha Crunch, we got crazy casting announcements. We got it all in this episode, and we're just going to start right off at the top. So first up is a new horror action thriller, which is a thing. I mean, I feel like, now, for me...
Upgrade was a horror action thriller.
Was Upgrade considered a horror action?
Technically, it was
because of the
considered a horror
AI.
film. It's Blumhouse.
It was a creepy situation. So I'll give it that. I'll give it that. So we have a new action horror thriller called OnSlaught. It's coming from A24. A24 was not playing when they said they get more mainstream movies. They like Our House Where.
Yeah.
So this is going to come from Adam Wingard. It's going to star Dan Stevens and Rebecca Hall, who are all from...
Sure, Godzilla. All of them.
Literally. Adam Wingard directed...
And they're all going to be the next Godzilla. Because didn't that news come out that
Dan
they're all
Stevens
like
is in the talks to
go
do...
back?
Right. And I don't know if Adam's coming back for the next one.
I don't think they've confirmed him, but I think that's the gist because
he's done the last
two.
Right.
And then I think they just said Rebecca Hall was like in talks.
Might as well. I mean,
so
they all lived, by the way. Spoiler alert. None of our human characters really died.
Right.
None of the big ones. So, and alongside I'm going to say her name wrong. Adria Arjona.
Which was the girl in Blink Twice that we liked.
We did like her.
Survivalist.
Yes. And she's actually, it sounds like she's the lead in this movie. So she's going to be starring as a mother who falls back on a particular set of skills, which I was like, so taken. No. In order to protect her loved ones. Very taken. After she runs afoul of a threat that escaped a military base. So it's given...
Species.
Yes, because
we were just talking about Species.
Dan Stevens plays, which fits because
Forrest Whitaker.
Dan Stevens was just playing in this movie. He's playing a scientist who worked on experiments, and in the other movie he was just in, the horror movie you watched,
he was a scientist who was conducting the Cuckoo.
Yes. I was like, Dan Stevens, but he plays a good. Okay, so he wasn't a scientist in Godzilla X Kong. He was a dentist.
He was an antagonist in Abigail, though. And we hated him.
Dang it, he sure was. Yeah. So I've seen him play bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't watch Cuckoo.
I guess he plays more bad than anything.
Probably.
Yeah.
So this movie, it sounds interesting though. I mean, I guess Adam Wingard came from horror. I haven't seen any of his horror films because I don't watch horror movies.
That's like how they usually start because it's cheap. So.
Okay, so he has a horror background. So if you're kind of like, how are you gonna go from Godzilla X Kong to this? He's got the filmography for that. But it sounds interesting. I actually thought Rebecca Hall was going to be the lead, but when they first announced this...
Rebecca Hall is Michelle Williams. Because Michelle Williams was the alienated species.
Okay. Because in the article, they don't say what her role is. They say she got some connection to Dan. I was like, so she's like...
because Forrest Whitaker had a connection
project.
to species. So what's her name? Syl?
Yeah. So we have a Species remake now.
That's funny. We were just talking randomly. Oh, because you're talking about movies that they don't play on TV anymore.
They definitely don't.
And
play
they don't
Species.
show Species. And there's
Organica.
like 3 sequels.
There are a lot of Species. There's at least 2 or 3 sequels. Yes. Yeah. I ain't seen all of them, but I've definitely seen the original Species.
So interesting.
It sounds.
I would see that.
I would do an action horror.
Yeah, I would see that.
If it's not too scary, action horror is a little more up my lane.
Species
anyway.
wasn't.
It was more like a sci-fi horror.
Yeah, Species was more like a sci-fi horror. It wasn't nothing scary, but it was gross.
It wasn't as scary as like an Event Horizon, which is.
It wasn't as scary as what was the one where they was
that's an action
Mimic.
horror.
It wasn't as scary as Mimic.
Mimic was a little scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one with Yep.
Carl Winslow.
I was thinking of the woman whose name I can't.
From ER.
Yes.
Hold on.
Ooh.
It's been a while. She ain't been in. I was gonna say wasn't she just in Twisters? No, that's not the same one.
Nope.
No, that's the girl.
But you
from
in
ER.
the same.
They Maria Sorvino.
Yes. Yeah, she hasn't been anything in quite some time.
Josh
actually.
Brolin, Norman Reedus. I forgot all of these people were in Mimic.
I haven't seen Mimic in decades.
Mira Sorvino.
I wonder if it still holds up.
Mimic.
Yeah. It might. It's probably a little cheesy nowadays.
It depends.
But this is giving a Mimic a species experiment gone wrong on like Earth situation. But it sounds good. I'll check it out.
And it wasn't Carl Winslow that was in Species. Carl Winslow was a diehard.
You getting all your people.
The black cop in Species was Charles S. Dutton. He was the guy from Aliens 3. He was the one black guy in Aliens 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
He ain't lived, did he?
No, he didn't.
Of course
He died
not.
at the end.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So, new action thriller coming up, horror action thriller coming up from A24. We'll definitely be talking about this when we get a trailer.
Yeah. Fun.
All right. Next up, we have not an action thriller horror, but a comedy coming from Eddie Murphy, who's going to lead a movie called Blue Falcon. So, it sounds like a movie we already heard, but I'm going to read it anyway. Okay. So, Eddie Murphy plays a retired super spy who heads for a destination wedding for his estranged son. I was like, okay, we got a super spy. We got an estranged son, probably because he was a super spy. But anyway, he finds himself in proximity to his arch rival. There's not much there, but I'm sure it's going to be funny.
Yeah, because nobody, not even James Bond uses the word super spy.
Exactly.
So
it's a very
that's a comedy
cheesy
term. Yeah.
it's Eddie Murphy. I'm trying to think of the last Eddie Murphy movie that's been in theaters. Because this is going to theaters.
Beverly Hills Cop didn't go to theaters.
Nope.
Coming to America didn't go to theaters.
Did not.
Let's see.
Dolomite did not go to theaters. That was Netflix.
Did not go to Netflix?
Wait, was he Dolomite?
Yeah, Dolomite is my name.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't Norbit.
Yeah, what is the last Eddie Murphy movie?
Eddie Murphy filmography.
In theaters.
Going back. Well, his next one will definitely be Shrek 5.
Okay. Right. We got this and Shrek 5 then.
And
maybe this is his resurgence. I would be down for Eddie Murphy resurgence.
He was in Tower Heist.
The heck is that?
Which is that Ben Stiller Eddie Murphy film.
Ben Stiller?
It says it was distributed by Universal Pictures and it released in 2011.
Oh, so it's been 13 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That is...
it looks like he had some small films that went to the Tribeca, but nothing wide release since Tower Heist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This will also probably be an interesting box office watch then, too.
But he hasn't not worked. He's just been doing everything on streaming or direct to digital.
It's time to get Eddie back in the theaters.
Yeah.
I want to see him on the big screen.
That'll be fun.
We don't have like a big black... that sounds weird. We don't have like a popular black comedian that's like doing movies in theaters.
It used to be Kevin Hart, but he hasn't done a movie in a while.
Right.
So,
no, that's a lie. He was just in Borderlands. That counts.
Okay.
That counts.
Theatrical release.
We
sure.
didn't say it was a good theatrical release.
We'll
we just
claim
said
that.
it was in the theater. So I'm looking forward to. We ain't got no trailer. We don't have no release day. I'm just like Eddie Murphy on the big screen. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this. All right. Next up, we have a remake. So we got an action horror thriller. We got a new Eddie Murphy comedy, and now we have a remake because we always getting remakes for The Faculty. Now, if you ain't seen The Faculty, you're probably too young. Have you seen The Faculty?
Yes, I have seen The Faculty.
Of course. 'Cause even if you young, you still a horror guy. Yeah. So you definitely seen The Faculty. Now, the original Faculty came out in 1996.
After at least after Halloween H2O, right?
Oh, let's see. I'm about to look it up.
I'm trying to think about when I first started seeing Josh Hartnett and stuff.
1998. I was close.
Oh, so right before. Interesting. So The Faculty wasn't popular then when it first came out because I think H2O was when they first introduced Josh Hartnett and Michelle Williams.
Oh, okay. So if you have not seen the OG Faculty, it's got all like the OG, like who was like the not teeny boppers. They were like the young heartthrob cast. So we had Josh Hartnett, we had Elijah Wood, we had Jordana Brewster,
everybody
Usher.
Came from somewhere. Yeah, they were all students,
right? Now this is a movie that probably really don't hold up. I ain't seen The Faculty.
I don't know. I haven't rewatched The Faculty in a very, very long time. Whenever I think of The Faculty, it reminds me of Animorphs because wasn't Faculty about the slugs? The teachers was like aliens or something?
Yeah, they were not. Yeah. The Faculty was about the faculty.
Yeah.
The teachers being like aliens. It was a horror movie.
Jean Grey.
Yep. Essentially.
Yeah. Was evil. Because she was in it too.
She was one of the teachers. Yeah. I need to go rewatch that. Time. But anyway, they're about to remake it because nothing ever dies.
It was doing the teen horror, Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
H2O, I guess, would fit in there.
H2O, all the teen slashers of the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out during that period.
Man, I wonder if that movie's still good. I'm going to go watch it.
I don't know. It depends. Like, all the other slashers then are campy. It's campy. Super campy, but it probably holds up. Yeah.
This will be interesting to remake now because of it's more modern times. Like, I feel like nowadays we would know if our teachers was aliens. Maybe. I don't know.
There's so many more things you can do with it with social media now and the way schools are now.
And they're not saying it's a plot for plot remake. So the original director, Robert Rodriguez, is going to produce.
Oh, so he's coming back. Okay.
Yeah, but he's not direct. They don't have a director yet.
Director of Stab.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
Stab 1, 2, and 3 at least. Well, no. Just at least director of Stab 1 and 2.
Okay. And then we have Drew Hancock, who's going to write the script. Now, if that name doesn't sound familiar, he actually wrote the movie Companion, which is out right now.
Getting good reviews.
Right, which is
B.
Yeah, it's got like
B+.
90 something, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes too. I read it because I knew I wasn't gonna watch it.
Oh.
It sounds there's a plot point where I would have been like, no, thank you.
That's what I assumed.
You could tell.
Yeah. And you can tell from the trailers.
Now, the first trailer for Companion didn't give it away. Like, I'm not gonna say what it is because if people haven't seen the second trailer apparently gives away a very big plot point. So if you want to see Companion, don't watch no trailers, is what I would suggest.
Oh, okay.
So
I know the plot point, but the first trailer made it very clear that it was going to trend in a certain uncomfortable direction.
Yeah, but the second trailer gives away like the plot point of the movie.
Okay.
But Drew Hancock wrote that, and he's writing this, so that bodes well. I mean, if Companion is getting good reviews,
it'll be well written. It's
right.
supposed to be campy. It needs to be funny.
It does.
Faculty was a comedy.
It was a horror movie, but it wasn't like oh my god, I can't sleep at night horror.
It should have the tone of like Hell of a Summer. That's trailer we saw in front of The Presence.
Yes, there is a movie coming out that is a horror movie for not kids, they're teenagers at a summer camp.
Yeah.
So it's like a comedy horror, I guess.
And they're like remaking a traditional like summer camp slasher.
Right. Yeah, so I wonder if they're gonna make this like funny.
It should have the tone of like high school kids because it's kids versus adults, and like a big crux of the faculty is that nobody believed the kids because they're kids, and they weren't like particularly the best students.
No, and they were all like, the good looking, not really smart situation.
They're like the Dawson's Creek cast of students.
Basically in a horror movie.
I don't know who they're going to cast because they don't cast adults as teenagers and stuff anymore. So I don't know who any of these people are going to be.
Just get the cast from the Hell of a Summer movie. Just shift them over.
Yeah.
Because all of them they all look like kids. So just use the same cast.
Yeah.
Or whoever they give for Final Destination.
And all these actors are still around, so and they're not doing anything. So have Josh Hartnett or Jordana Brewster make cameos.
Jordana Brewster doing Fast.
That's ending. She could come back 12. And be a teacher or something.
Yeah, she don't do much outside.
She's in that. She's in Hard Eyes, so she's still in the slasher space.
Oh, she is briefly. Okay,
she plays like a detective in there. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
So this sounds. I mean, I don't know. The faculty's so old. I feel like at this point
I have to relook at it.
You can remake it and get away with it. Although everybody's saying no remakes, but if it's good, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of I would say the faculty's a cult classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
At this point. Speaking of cult classics, we got more Scream 7 casting. Now normally we put casting news in the Buncha Crunch, but we got 3 casting announcements in one. And some of them.
This is a little too ridiculous.
All of them. 2 out of the 3 are I'm sorry, what is going on here? So the first one we got earlier this week was Mark Consuelos. If you don't know who Mark Consuelos is, he is Mr. Kelly Ripa, All My Children.
I had no idea.
Lord.
It was funny because somebody said
he's been in other stuff.
They immediately sussed him out as Ghostface at the announcements. Somebody said, "Hello, Miha."
It's funny because I can't think. I'm sure he's been in other stuff, but I most know him as from All My Children, the soap opera.
That's funny.
And being Kelly. I think he's
throwback All My Children, like when you used to watch them.
Like when we used to tape it on VCR and then go home
ago.
and watch it.
Yeah.
That's how old.
Wow.
That's how long it's been. But we got 2 other casting announcements that everybody was kind of like, I'm sorry, what's going on? The first one was Scott Foley.
Yeah, that was weird.
And we're just going to name both. And the second one was Matthew Lillard. And they came the same day.
Yeah, they came there was a lot of castings that just happened throughout this week. For films back to back. They were announcing multiple castings. But Matthew Lillard makes the most sense.
Why?
Well, okay, Mark Consuelos makes the most sense because he's a new face. You got to throw in a new face.
Okay, sure. But we've got 12 new faces. So whatever.
Matthew Lillard makes the most sense because they've been teasing he's been alive in every film.
Because they trying to say he didn't method he died
when Sydney threw the TV on his face,
right?
The big fat TV on his face, he might have lived
because they hinted to that in the last movie.
I don't know how.
Did he die?
Yeah,
like where he been at then?
Right, like did they not like put him in a body bag when they cleaned out the house? Did they not check to make sure the body was in the coffin?
And where he just been chilling out all the time, like I'm just gonna stay away, and now he back.
But I don't know, because the last one, all the police evidence went missing. Nobody looked for that.
Exactly, because homeboy was storing it. Yeah, that was also odd.
That was unexplained. But you guys suspend your disbelief.
So we're assuming. Well, we don't know if he's coming back as a.
If he comes back, yeah, him being physically in the presence, he's the killer, or he's at least involved.
Then who Mark Consuelo?
The second killer.
Okay. There are too many people in this movie.
What doesn't make any sense at all is Scott Foley's involvement.
Now, I did see a tweet from Big Screen Leaks that said that they found out or learned why Scott Foley is back, and it makes sense. Like the way that however it's written is like good, and they didn't spoil it because they don't want to spoil it. And I was
Resurrection.
Like, I don't, because
Dewey put a bullet into his skull. We watched him.
I don't. What I don't want is the ghost thing, because we had the ghost thing
with Billy
last time. We just had it,
and Cindy didn't know that man. So I mean, and even though old girl didn't know Billy, she was like haunted by thinking that she would turn into him. Right. And it didn't seem that Sydney cared when she killed Scott Foley. She was pretty relieved.
It feel like we throwing in the kitchen sink here with this.
It would make more sense that Jill was back than Scott Foley.
I just don't understand. What are we getting?
That's actually the only other person missing is Jill.
Right? No, to just bring back Billy Loomis. I mean, why not? You know what? Bring Dewey back. If we bring back everybody, bring back Dewey. Yeah, he can be in somebody's head.
I'm interested to find out how they write him back in here to make sense. My hunch is that I have a few hunches. One hunch is that I think they're going to retcon and make one of the previous films a movie.
No,
and they're going to say it was a movie. That's because
which one?
Probably 3, because that's the one he died in. That's the one that he was the murderer, and that's the one he died in. He can't be.
How do you make it a movie, though?
He can't be walking free, because even if he didn't die, he killed a whole bunch of people.
Right. So he
can't just be out amongst the crowd of people.
And I don't like the ghost idea.
You thought maybe he was his twin brother. I think that's a little... It's hard to believe that... Yeah, it was a little hard to believe that Maureen Prescott got away with, like, having a baby, leaving town, having a baby, and then...
leaving the twin?
Ditching it. Yes, it would make less sense if she left, like, 2 children.
Yeah.
Who didn't know about each other.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's getting real. They make another casting, and I'll be like, okay, I'm over it.
What they haven't casted is any other younger adults to be Sydney's daughter's friends. That's what's
we only got 2 friends, so because it's probably not
everybody's an out of high school adult.
Well, and I guess I originally thought we were focusing on her daughter.
Yeah, but they ain't casting no friends.
It don't seem.
Oh well, Celeste O'Connor.
We got a couple friends.
And so we got
we got like 3 friends.
Is the dude they just casted the same dude from Presents? Asa German.
Oh no, I don't think that's him, man.
No, he's from Gen V. He looks like the guy from the Presents, who was the son's school friend.
Okay.
So I take that back. They have casted 3 other people. They've casted Celeste O'Connor
to be
McKenna Grace
right
from Ghostbusters and Asa German.
Okay.
Because I was like, I haven't heard of them casting any children.
Right. So maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know what this movie's about to be. I'm confused.
I'd be cool with an adult Ghostface. Going back to adult ghost faces.
Sure.
All the previous ghost faces have been like kids, like students,
young.
And like maybe one adult. But I would go back to adult ghost faces.
It's probably Mark Consuelos.
It's probably Mark Consuelos.
It's probably. Well, we say every time somebody come out, we go, it's probably them. But I really do think it's Mark Consuelos.
He's not a news, but he's a show anchor in real life. He'll probably be like Gail's co-host because she still does the TV. She still does the news in New York. Back. Yeah. So he'll probably like be the killer because he's close to Gail. It's always somebody you know.
But what would be his motivation though?
Stealing the fame from Gail. You
gonna think Gail's gonna be the reason? It's always been about Sydney.
Sam. I think it's mostly now just going to be about being the fame from Ghostface, from proximity to Ghostface.
Yeah,
Although I don't even know what the motive for going after Sidney would still be.
I was
like,
gonna
what still could you want Sidney?
I will always wonder what the original Scream 7 was supposed to be.
I will too.
And I wonder if we'll ever find out.
Yeah.
Because
it was probably going to be a conclusion of the Carpenter sisters.
Probably.
That would have made the most sense.
Right. But now we throwing something together that ain't nobody was thinking of. And it's kind of like,
kitchen sink.
What is y'all? Who's left? Who's left to cast? We going to get at least, 4 more?
Have they confirmed Kirby?
They ain't even started filming yet.
No, they haven't.
Which is crazy. Which means we're probably going to get more casting.
Absolutely.
Everybody's going to die.
Except for Sydney and her daughter.
And
probably.
Mark somehow going to live because he the killer so we can get Scream 8.
I don't think they're going to kill her husband. They probably won't kill her husband.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about her husband.
It's a Mark.
You
talking about Mark Consuelos.
Yeah.
No, Mark is going to die because he's Ghostface.
Yeah, okay.
Her husband, Mark, is probably going to live.
You think Mark going to live?
They're not going to kill her love interest 3 times.
Why not?
They just won't do that. Not after marriage.
They're bringing a rando in. We don't care about this guy. We don't care about him.
I don't think they would do that
Get
to
him
Sydney.
out of here. We don't want him.
Gail will probably live. Everybody else is
She
on the
has
chopping
to
block.
because she already fake died the last time. You can't fake kill her again.
And Gail is the bridge. Whatever they want to do spin-offs in the future, they're going to throw Gail in to bridge it. So
This movie. So, yeah, this is not coming till next year. So, we got a long time to find out what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
And we ain't nowhere near no trailer, no nothing.
Nope.
So, maybe somebody will leak it.
I don't want to see the leak. I mean, but I just want to know what Scott Foley's involvement is.
But I do want a plot summary.
I want to know what Scott Foley's involvement in is if it's not a major plot
You're not gonna find that out.
Spoiler.
You're not finding that out.
It's probably a plot destroying spoiler, so I'll
yes,
never know.
it has to be.
Yeah.
Him and Matthew.
Yeah.
Are they working together? Have they just been backpacking
They are
together?
dead. 2 dead people.
One of them might be alive.
Ghostface can't be an actual ghost. That defeats the
Maybe
the
his
spirit
head was like
Scream.
styrofoam.
I don't like
in that part, and he actually lived.
Scott Foley is okay. Matthew Lillard, the argument.
He's got amnesia. The bullet just gave him amnesia. He didn't actually die.
Cindy would know if he was alive. She would know.
She's too busy marrying folks.
It doesn't seem like she's sloppy.
She's too busy dating.
One thing Cindy is not is sloppy.
No. She's too busy dating. She ain't got time to find no killers.
Especially when it comes to finishing. But we'll see.
We will see. This is a craziness.
That's all the news we have this week. Let's roll into the trailer pod.
Toot, and a beep, beep.
All right. So the first trailer we have for this week is an official trailer. This is the first official trailer. For Sinners. The first one was technically a teaser.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, teasers.
This is a very long trailer, by the way.
It's a very long trailer.
Too long.
So this is the Michael B. Jordan, starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan movie where they play twins. This is coming out on April 18th. Originally, it was rumored to just be a vampire movie, but it seems like it's just going to be supernatural in
supernatural-ish
entirety.
Vampire. Yeah, Ryan Coogler said that it's not just vampires. There's another supernatural element.
They said the veil. So they mentioned a veil and a division between the lands of the living and the dead.
So we got some
there could be
other
a lot.
plane.
There could be ghosts and spirits. All the other stuff is on the other side of the veil.
Sure.
So what is it about? Michael B. Jordan and his brother, Michael B. Jordan, are going to
the Jordan twins
returning to the South.
Yeah, they coming back home from somewhere,
and they are gonna throw a hoopla,
a party, kick back.
But one of the players of the band has this mystical guitar instrument that when you play it, it tears a hole in the veil between the land of living and the dead.
Right.
And he has somehow vampires have been summoned on the premises.
It's the multiverse.
Yes.
Now, I think the reason why I said this trailer was too long because we finally got the revelation of vampires, because in the teasers they didn't really mention vampires. It's obvious vampires. The white people's vampires in this.
Yeah.
Although it also seems like some of the black cast is going to turn into vampires.
They'll be turned.
Because they're at the very end of the trailer, one of the, I can't think of who it is, says, "That's not your brother out there." And like I've been calling.
Wanami Masaku.
Yes. She sounds like she's talking to one of the twins and says, "That's not your brother out there." And like I've been saying,
yeah, they pretty
one
much,
of the twins
they pretty much confirmed.
It's going to be a vampire.
I think they showed the scene.
They shouldn't have done that.
The scene when he's the brother, the scene where he's making out with Haley Steinfeld, and then she turns around and she's all bloody. I think that's her eating him. And then after that, he's the other brother's officially
so he got to kill his brother.
I mean, they might as well have shown that. We could have guessed that because in the teasers, they made a mistake in the teasers of doing too many shots with only one brother with the survivors.
Yes, every wide shot we get, there's one Michael B. Jordan and not another
And
one.
we know if this was Marvel, they would have superimposed both of them in the
It
shot
would've
and
been
then
a-
removed them for the final.
Okay.
For the theatrical
Ain't even no
release.
gap of where somebody's supposed to be at. You just like, there's
Just
nobody
like when
there.
they did the when Captain Marvel was bringing Iron Man back, and you didn't know it was all those gaps in the shot.
Right.
Like somebody is clearly supposed to be there.
Yeah,
they
people
would have
be
done that.
circling like,
They
this-
should have done
a whole
that and
party of
then
people
just
here.
filmed it with both of them in the scenes.
Yes,
in
they
the
should've-
trailers.
they should have
and then
done
took
that.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't try to like string us along. Like we could tell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so as predicted, one of the twins sound like they're about to turn into a vampire. It looks good.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's gonna be some time jumping because I think we're gonna get the scene where Haley Steinfeld is turned too.
Okay. Is that the one where the other white guy's kind of like,
Yeah, so it
looks
seems
he's
like the
approaching her or
main.
something?
So you've never seen 30 Days of Night,
No.
which is really good. It's a vampire film about Alaska. It's a vampire film that takes place in Alaska. It's about the 30 Days of Night of
With like the when the weather changes
yeah,
or seasons
when
change.
the seasons change in Alaska when they have those 30 days of night. And
Yeah.
the movie was about every 30 days of night, the town is plagued by vampires who run rampant throughout the town
That's a good plot.
for the 30 days, and they have to like survive.
Yeah.
And it starred Josh Hartnett.
I would literally move.
It was a really good movie,
Uh-huh.
but it was based on villagers being trapped and having to huddle together and fight against vampires who are invading their town.
Okay.
This is what it kind of seems like, because that was also led by one main white guy vampire who was like super sadistic, and it seems
And
like
this
they're
is
doing
same.
that. So
This is very similar.
Yeah.
I will say that I think Michael B. Jordan's accent gonna throw me a bit, but I should be able to get over it. It's real thick and not authentic. Other than that, it looks fine.
Yeah. He
He could have just talked normal. I don't know why because nobody else seems to have that much of an accent in the movie but him. So it really sticks out. I'm like, well, everybody can just talk
even
normal.
though the rest of the actors don't have like that deep South accent that
no,
he's putting on, but
yeah, it's, I just know it's gonna get picked apart.
his
I just
accent
know.
is gonna get picked apart.
I was
Absolutely.
just like, why y'all pick that?
But otherwise, the movie looks interesting.
It does look interesting.
I'm interested in a lot of the characters.
Yes, the supporting cast in this is
I love Delroy Lindo.
They all good.
I love Wunmi Mosaku.
Everybody.
I like Haley Steinfeld.
I
This is
like
probably
her.
be the first time I've seen her be evil.
Yes, agree.
I enjoy Michael B. Jordan.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested to see what else is in the movie outside of vampires, because there's some daylight fighting.
Uh-huh.
It looks like there's some fire doing
Fire,
some weird stuff in the water.
Tornadoes of some sort.
Yeah. I want to know where this guitar comes from.
True.
Yeah.
Hopefully get some good lore.
Yeah.
Lore building. Ryan Coogler said this is like his love letter to cinema. So I'm expecting a
Interesting.
lot.
He also said he worked a lot with Christopher Nolan on this.
Yes,
So,
because I guess the way they shot it.
they
is
use like
different.
IMAX
Wide, yeah.
cameras to film
Okay.
it. So yeah, interesting.
It's Ryan Coogler. I'm gonna go watch it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Next trailer we have on the list is for The Residents. This is a series that's coming to Netflix, releasing on March 20th. It is going to star Uzo Aduba from
Orange is the New
Orange
Black.
is the New Black. Yep. And we watched her episode of Bear Grylls.
We did.
We did.
Yeah. She's been in also a lot of.
Yes. Giancarlo Esposito, who we love. Jason Lee.
You know who Jason Lee is. You know who Jason Lee is.
Like Jason Lee?
Not that.
Oh.
Not
I was like,
Not
'Cause I don't
the
remember
I,
seeing
not
him in-
Rihanna's BFF,
Oh.
Jason Lee. Lord have mercy. Jason Lee from My Name is Earl.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because I was thinking the other Jason. I was like, I don't recall seeing this trailer, but
He ain't made it that far yet.
And Randall Park, which we also enjoyed.
Yeah.
We just saw last thing we saw Randall Park in was in Aquaman 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot he was.
We
in
liked
there.
his character, but that movie wasn't great.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking on it like, did I like that guy?
So what is it about? It's a murder mystery drama set in the White House. It looks a lot like Knives Out, like Shondaland version of Knives Out.
You know this is by Shondaland, right?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why,
okay.
yeah.
I wonder if he was just happened to make that connection.
Uzo is playing the Benoit Blanc.
She is, and
Of
she's
this.
got the Benoit Blanc personality.
Yeah.
So it's not
and
a very
outfit
serious.
almost from the first movie. She's got like the same jacket.
Yeah, it looked like also the most recent movie because of the pictures came out. I was like, oh, being look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I don't know is what the murder mystery is about.
There's a state dinner
Okay.
and somebody dies during the state dinner.
They don't say who.
They don't say who.
No.
And it doesn't seem like it's the president.
No, because the president, it seems like, is the one who brought her in.
Yes, and who she's talking to briefly in the trailer.
Yes.
So it's like a state dinner. There's like 100 and some odd people. So whoever gets murked, it happens during that, and she got to find out the whodunit.
And it looks like it takes place in a day.
It does.
All of the shots in the trailer, it's a series, but all the shots in the trailer, everybody's wearing the same outfits throughout the entire trailer. So maybe she solves it. I guess Knives Out wasn't solved in a day. But
you're right.
Majority of it took place in
a
like
couple
day.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going over a long period. Because they're probably keeping everybody in the White House. So the movie's probably got to move pretty quick.
So like Clue then. Clue took place in a day.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Clue, Knives Out.
Same.
Yeah. It looks very much like Knives Out, which is not a bad thing.
I enjoy Knives Out.
I like all of those and looking forward to the next one. So
somehow Netflix keeps acquiring these.
Yeah. This actually seemed like it would be good in the theater, though.
So does Knives Out.
They fighting over that.
Yeah.
Right now, actually.
But it does look good.
It looks like a fun time.
I like murder mysteries. It looks like it's going to be funny. I really enjoy Giancarlo Esposito and everything that he's in.
I was like, as soon as he showed in the shirt, I was like, another project, Jim? Yeah. I like it.
It looks campy. I like Uzo's character. Seems kind of like quirky and funny, kind of like Benoit Blanc.
She's kind of giving a little bit of a Newt Scamander.
Yes. And it's fun.
Fantastic Beast.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll check it out. It's a series, though, so hopefully it's not like 15 episodes. Because hopefully the pacing is good.
Did you ever start the other
Paradise?
There's a lot of White House dramas out now.
Right. No, but I'll need to immediately because I feel like I'm on the verge of being spoiled. And there's some sort of plot twist in it that everybody's
that's the only thing I keep hearing about is there's a plot twist. Nobody said what it is yet.
Yeah. But before the weekend is up, I'm going to be watching at least the first episode of Paradise.
Last stop on the trailer park we have is for Locked in all caps. This is coming out March 21st. It is going to theaters.
Yeah.
It is going to star Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, two people we enjoy.
I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this movie, though.
I don't think I'm going to like this movie, though.
So Locked is about I guess he's a thief, petty thief. Down on his luck guy, just trying to get by stealing from other people. He gets into a very luxurious SUV and he gets locked inside, and then the SUV takes over and tries to destroy his life, kill him in the car, kill other people while he in the car. And then Anthony Hopkins is the owner of, which I was like, won't you save that for the movie? But anyway, they spoil in the trailer that Anthony Hopkins is the owner of the car, and I guess he's trying to teach Bill Skarsgård a lesson like, thou shalt not steal.
So this is Phone Booth on Wheels.
It is Phone Booth, and because I looked into this, there is another movie called 4x4 that has the exact same premise of a guy stealing a car and he gets locked in.
What's 4x4? Is that American?
And it's a foreign film.
So this is the American remake.
It feels like it. I even watched the first couple of seconds of the trailer and it starts the same. Like it's the same white guy.
So this is the American remake, which is common.
I mean, why this though?
I don't know.
It's Phone Booth.
It's Phone Booth.
Not as the
Anthony Hopkins is Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is Colin Farrell.
Did we see Kiefer Sutherland in Phone Booth?
No, we
just
didn't.
heard him, right?
I think you got like a glimpse of his side profile at the end.
Okay.
And it seems like they're gonna do the same with Anthony Hopkins here. You might get like a glimpse of his side profile in the darkness.
Yes.
At the end. But yeah, it does pretty much look like Phone Booth a little bit. We get shots of Bill Skarsgård being locked in this luxurious Jeep.
Yeah.
It looks like it takes place in...
It looks like a Rolls Royce or something.
Is it Britain?
I don't know
is
where
it in the UK?
Sure. I don't know.
Because the car, yeah.
It doesn't look like... Oh, you're saying this isn't like an American car?
It doesn't look like an American car, and the city could be any city.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And I know Anthony Hopkins is British. Yeah, so...
This don't matter where it takes place.
But either way, we see him get stuck in this car. It looks like he's trapped in the car for days. It's bulletproof, soundproof.
He doesn't have any food or water, so it looks like he's like hungry and thirsty.
It's bulletproof, soundproof.
Yep.
Fully tinted black, so you can't see inside, so other bystanders cannot see that he's inside the car begging for help.
It's self-driving.
Looks like Anthony Hopkins is going to be using the car to drive around and murder people. I don't know how that teaches Bill Skarsgård a lesson about stealing, because he was stealing an empty car, not planning to take it to murder people. It doesn't seem like Bill Skarsgård's a bad person.
Yeah, so he just seems like, maybe a petty.
He was trying to feed a dog water who was stuck in a car at the beginning of the trailer.
Yes, that's how it opens. I don't know why.
I don't know. But, I mean...
Bill's agent
That was the thing with
this.
Phone Booth, too. It was like, Keith Sutherland, you're a murderer. You're not like Batman. You're not teaching anybody a lesson here, but traumatizing me.
Right, because Colin Farrell was like cheating on his wife or something, right?
Yeah. It's like, this is not the proper way to fix adultery.
I just don't know why Bill would pick this. Like, he went from, what was Boy Kills World, which is actually not that bad.
Because...
Horribly marketed, though.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did The Crow. And then John Wick was before all this. And then he had Nosferatu. And now we about to do this. And it's like, Bill, what is you doing?
Maybe he just likes to do anything.
And then his next movie he gonna have with Coleman Domingo, where he's like the true, what we talked about last episode. His filmography is like a roller coaster.
He's also going to be on HBO Max and The It Show.
He's
and
Pennywise.
Welcome to Derry.
I don't know why he be picking stuff like this.
You know what? He stays working though. That's the thing. He's
Bills
consistently working.
Bills is paid. I'll give you that. I just don't understand. Like, this is literally going to come and go. It's probably not good. Do you think it looks good?
Boy Kills World came and went.
But Boy Kills World actually looked interesting, right?
It did. It
Had
looked fun.
Interesting plot point.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
I don't
Bill, what are you
know.
doing? He don't need to work for real, probably. He's probably kind of set.
So he's got Dead Men's Wire coming out.
Yes,
which
right.
Is Coleman Domingo, but he's already got a film after that's been completed.
What is that?
That's coming out called Emperor, where he plays Philip II of Spain.
That's probably right up his alley.
So,
it's probably a little costuming in there.
Yeah.
He does good with that.
It's completed filming already, and it's set to come out after Dead Men's Wire, which is filming. So,
and then this.
Yeah.
So this is coming out now. This been
But
done.
I mean, like I said, you have to find something to do while James Cameron is working on something.
Fine.
Steven Spielberg is working on something. Everybody's working.
Robert Eggers ain't got a movie coming out every month.
Christopher Nolan is about to start filming something. If you're not getting an Odyssey, everybody's gonna be booked. So you got to find somebody to work for.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna live at the end of this.
Probably.
And
I'm pretty sure that nobody will die.
The little girl getting run over. And somebody getting rammed into a fence.
Whoever gets run over. The bystanders. It's like Phone Booth. None of our main characters died in Phone Booth.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not watching it.
Okay, so that was the last stop on the trailer park. Let's dive into this Buncha Crunch.
Sorry, I got to take a breather after that crazy trailer. All right, so first up is a movie I didn't even know was coming out. I was like, did we miss this news? But Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You Will Go is getting a movie adaptation. And it's going to be coming to theater. It got a release date of March 17th, 2028. So we got a little while. But the director is going to be John Chu, who just did Wicked. And he's going to co-direct, which I didn't know this was even a thing that happens very often, with Jill Colton, who did the movie Open Season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
her background is more of an animator. She's not a big director. She's done quite a few like Disney animated movies.
Okay.
But I was like, this last movie, I couldn't think of a movie that's been co-directed by two people.
So, Oh, the Places You'll Go is not one I've read. So I'm not familiar with this particular book myself.
The title gives it away. There's a thing that's going places and they learn stuff along the way.
It says the book concerns the journey of life, its challenges and joys.
Told you.
So I've never read that one.
It's been a while.
Sounds a little deep for a Dr. Seuss one, but...
it's right along his alley, though. It's like
level ones. Like Green Eggs and Ham. I guess Green Eggs and Ham, Cat in the Hat have deeper messages, the Lorax.
I mean, The Grinch, that is a deeper message when you think about it.
The Grinch, I think, is the only one that's like lasted and stood the test of time.
Green Eggs and Ham just gets read.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks about it very much.
That's the only like adaptation that's lasted, animated and live action.
I was going to say multiple adaptations.
The rest of them kind of just like fell off, but...
Yeah, this is an interesting choice. I think this is a good director, though. I mean...
John Chu, because didn't he just do Wicked?
Yeah, it's
whimsical,
Wicked.
Colorful. That's right up his alley.
Right. There was a tweet where somebody said, this movie's going to be so dark and bland. They was being sarcastic.
It's funny.
Right. I was like, no, this is going to have... Probably going to have a big budget.
So this is coming out in 2028.
We'll see.
So...
That date's gone probably.
Right.
I don't know why they do this. It's kind of like, that date not staying.
Next scoop of crunch we have is a couple casting announcements for Odyssey under Christopher Nolan. We have Benny Safdie, John Leguizamo, Himesh Patel from the franchise, but I guess we first saw him in Tenet. He was the one who organized the plane crash.
Okay.
So he's back because we know Chris likes to use the same people.
Right, and Benny was in Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Because when she worked with Christopher Nolan once,
Listen,
he's like the MCU.
That is why people work with him, because he be calling people back up.
Elliot Page has been added to the cast, as well as Bill Irwin and Samantha Morton.
So Elliot Page, Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Irwin, I guess, did a voice of something in
yeah,
Interstellar.
Elliot Page was in Inception. Another Christopher Nolan.
And Samantha Morton, I know her from Minority Report. I don't know if she's been in a Christopher Nolan movie. She was the key. She was not the kid. She was one of the people who could see the future that Tom Cruise was trying to save.
She was the bald person in the pool?
Yep, that's her.
Interesting. Bill Irwin was Lulu Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. He was the dad.
Okay.
So there's that.
Interesting. Okay, I see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
As once again, this movie's gonna have a ton of casting news.
Good. The Odyssey is a journey. It has a lot of people in it, so this makes sense that they're filling out the cast with more people.
Some of these people will be in this for 2 minutes.
Literally,
but they
just
don't care.
a second. There'll be one stop on the journey home.
You are officially on the cast list for future movies.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And it's probably gonna have like award-winning cinematography because it's
yeah.
Christopher Nolan.
Absolutely.
It's gonna go to the Oscars.
I mean, this is a huge movie for 2026.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's gonna be like the modern day Ben-Hur or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In other news, Jake Gyllenhaal is set to star in another M. Night Shyamalan upcoming film.
He's been in one previously.
Was Nightcrawler not M. Night Shyamalan?
Mm-mm.
Was that David Lynch? What was Nightcrawler?
I don't know. It's probably some creepy director. Like, that movie creeped me out so bad. Every time I think of Jake Gyllenhaal, I cannot separate him from that movie because he was so creepy.
No, Dan Gilroy. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't in another M. Night Shyamalan movie?
I don't think so. I think this might be their first collaboration.
Okay.
Although if it makes sense, right? Because he would fit in an M. Night Shyamalan movie, which is probably why this came about.
Yes, he would.
Yes.
So he's going to be in an M. Night Shyamalan upcoming film, a supernatural romantic thriller that's going to be based on an original story co-created by Shyamalan and global best-selling novelist Nicholas Sparks. What else has Nicholas written?
I should have looked at it.
Oh, hold on.
I did
Let me
not.
look it up. Sorry.
Should have put that in the notes. But M. Night Shyamalan like to write his own stuff. So all his movies are, people always say, people don't put out original stuff.
Interesting.
Not M. Night.
So this is going to be a supernatural romantic thriller.
Yes.
That is going to be a collaboration between M. Night Shyamalan and Nicholas Sparks,
Yes,
writer
we just
of
said.
The Notebook,
Oh.
A Walk to Remember.
Oh, God. All the romantic hits.
Yes, but it's going to be a supernatural romantic thriller.
It's going to be a crazy movie,
The
y'all.
Longest Ride.
So you know what?
Dear John. Jesus.
The last few M. Night movies have been critiqued because of the writing. It sounds like
so
he has taken that to heart and been like, okay, bet. I have an idea. Let me get somebody who actually, this is what they do.
I'm interested where this story is going to go,
I have no idea.
So is Jake Gyllenhaal going to be like
a crazy
killer? Or, I mean, supernatural. So whatever it is happening is outside of the realm of like normalcy.
He's going to be an alien or a vampire or, other being.
So he's going to be a monster. It's not going to be like Ghost.
Nah, he's not be human at all. There's
well,
no way.
M. Night Shyamalan doesn't really do Ghost. He does aliens. So.
He definitely do otherworldly. And this is definitely going to be a plot twist of some kind.
Yeah.
It's funny. Nicholas is probably writing everything but the plot twist. M. Night's like, I'm going to take it from here and then I'm going to finish the rest.
So it's good that he's getting somebody else to do the writing, or he's adapting something that was written by somebody else. I guess that would kind of be like Knock at the Cabin. That was the last thing he did. That was an adaptation of a book that was written by somebody else.
You're right. Okay.
Knock at the Cabin was well received as a book. It was mildly received as a movie because of the changes that he made to the end.
I remember reading about it. I didn't know. I would listen. Yeah. I would read a movie.
The ending in the book changed how he made changes to the ending in the movie.
Right.
Based on who survived. Which would have made more sense in a movie. Like nobody would have.
You have to do your own
Spoiler
research.
alert for Knock at the Cabin 3, 2, 1. In the book, they killed a kid. I don't think that would have flown in the movie. So he had to make those changes.
Because in the movie, one of the guys died, right? It's because it's a couple.
Yeah, in the movie, I think one of the guys dies from like an accident.
Yeah.
They were all gonna get away, and then one of the husband dies. Mm-hmm. But in the book, they killed a daughter. So I don't think that would have flowed in the movie. So I mean, that was an appropriate change.
Probably. But it's good. He's getting somebody else on board to write. I mean, I don't think he's ever done a romantic anything. Unless you count The Village, there was a sign of a love story there.
Okay.
I love The Village. Everybody
sure.
hating that movie. Interested. I'm interested in this.
Next group of Crunch, Danai Gurira, who is Okoye.
Yep.
Is joining John Cena and Tiana Paris, who is Monica Rambeau. John Cena's not in MCU as of yet. In the live-action Matchbox movie, which we talked about a long time ago, which is a live-action film about the Hot Wheels Matchbox car. Well, I guess Hot Wheels and Matchbox are two different brands, but the Matchbox toy cars.
This script must be good. The more people that join this cast, the more I'm kind of like, is this script awesome? Because y'all some good actresses.
Yeah.
Joining this, and I know y'all wouldn't just join no mess.
Everybody's busy. All the directors are working. So I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, you're right.
If nobody's hiring right now, you gotta go somewhere.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I mean, they probably putting budget into this too. So sure.
I'm still interested in the plot. Are these characters going to be playing toys? Are the toys?
It's supposed to be about friends.
Yeah, but what does that mean? Woody and Buzz are friends.
I don't know.
So are they going to be like? Is this going to be live action?
I think so.
Or is it going to be animated? Or is it going to be like the Lego movie where it's like toys that live in the real world?
Minecraft.
Yeah, are they going to be transported to a different world like Minecraft? Oh. What is the sense of this? Are they going to be cars? Are they going to be talking cars? Are they going to be toy drivers?
Talk. Okay. I don't know, but Tiana, I was like, yo, I gotta go watch it. Like, I can't not watch it. I gotta go support.
Yeah.
Even if I don't know what this movie's about.
So we need to see a trailer.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be interesting.
I'll give it interesting.
Based on the casting. I still would like details on what is going on with the cars.
I gotta go support.
Like,
I'm sorry.
what's going on with these tiny cars?
Sorry, I gotta go support. I don't even know what this movie's about. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go.
All right, so that is the last scoop of Crunch. We're gonna take a short break and we're gonna get into review part 1, which is the first 3 episodes of Severance.
This week we watched 2 shows. First show up we have on our review is Severance Season 2. Now, if you have not seen Season 1, go back.
Yes.
Pause, stop. What you doing right now? Go watch it, all of it.
It's not skippable.
You can't not watch this season without watching the first season. So we're going to go over Season 2. Full spoilers, right? Do we need to do like...
Yeah, full spoilers.
Okay, we fully spoiling this. So Season 2, it has been 3 years.
Yes.
Since the first season, second season. Now, we did not watch the first season until maybe last year sometime.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been as long of a wait for us.
Yeah.
But for y'all OGs, we're back. We all back in the saddle. It came out or it premiered January 17th, 2025. I don't know how many episodes there are. Let me check and see if it says...
For Season 2?
Yes, 10.
Season 1 had 9. Oh, okay. So 10.
Okay. Ooh, we get an extra.
Nice.
That's exciting. The creator and showrunner is Dan Erickson. I don't know what else he has done, but he has won a Peabody for Season 1. So
yes, very good.
He's good. I'm going to do a quick... All the characters are back for Season 2. We do have a new child. I don't know who this little girl is. Miss Wong?
Yeah.
She can't be no more than 12, y'all. I don't understand why this child...
It says that she's a child, yeah.
Yeah, she's a child actress, but everybody else from Season 1 is back for Season 2.
Yes.
Unless they were dearly departed, which I don't think anybody was, right?
No, Christopher Walken's still here.
Petey's still dead, as far as we know.
Petey. Oh, the first guy?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about Petey.
Petey's mentioned,
yeah.
So yeah.
Christopher Walken died on the severed floor, but he's still alive.
Yes, his innie is still gone at this point, but his outie is still alive.
Yeah.
So, Rotten Tomatoes right now, the critics have it at a 98. Now, I think that everybody they didn't seem to send out any early screeners. So It seems like everybody is watching the show together at the same time. So right now for the ratings, it's just for the first 2 episodes. Or first 3 episodes, I guess, technically. Critics have it at a 98 and audience has it at an 81, which I feel like is a little low, in my opinion. But I didn't.
What's
I didn't
disappointing.
scan through. I think I was reading on Reddit, of course. I guess some people thought the first episode was a little slow, which I didn't really agree with. It kind of had to reintroduce. It's been 3 years, right? So I think it had to just kind of reintroduce us.
I think people expected because of the length between the season finale and this premiere.
It was gonna be like fast paced, maybe.
Yeah, instead of we just picked up where we left off.
Pretty
because
much.
They're severed. They don't have the sense of time, so the characters
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is it. Of course, we don't have anything on like runtime. The episodes are like still an hour ish each, or budget or box offer or anything like that. So for this review, since it's TV, we're gonna just do full spoilers, give you our thoughts about the first 3 episodes, and then some likes and dislikes, and I think maybe some theories that we might come up with as we go. So first episode was called
Hello, Miss Cobell.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, it was strange. But I mean, it makes sense why it was called that.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
because Milichek's computer kept saying hello, Miss Cobell. So.
Okay. So season 1 pretty much picks up, or season 2 picks up where season 1 left off. The characters are separated initially. They come back together through Milchek, aka Milkshake. I cannot unsay Milkshake now, unfortunately. Right. And they come back together, and they're basically trying to pick up where they left off. Essentially, like what I didn't realize, or I guess didn't think about, is that they remembered that they were like.
Yeah, they don't lose their memories.
They didn't lose their memories of being outside. Like the
because
innies,
they're technically, I guess, the protocol.
Yes, so the overtime contingency protocol, where the innies basically can be their outies or whatever. The fact that they remembered, I thought was interesting, because I was like, oh, because they can never forget that they were outside at some point.
Yeah, their memories don't get wiped. They just can switch over into their innies and outies.
Right.
So now they know what the outside looks like.
Right. And it's like, for anybody who's ever done that, like, you'll never be able to forget what that's like.
And I like the fact that when he gets to the severed floor again for the first time, we get a new team.
Yeah, so Mark shows back up first.
Shout out to Aaliyah Shawkat.
She's in this
she
for
just pops
2.
Up. I was so sad when I was like, oh, she goes away.
I wanted her back.
They're going to fire her.
So Mark gets a new team with some new people. Aaliyah Shawkat is one of them. I was like, oh, snap. I didn't know she was going to be in
I kind
this.
of like the new team. The new team was okay.
They were fine.
I wanted the old team back, but I was like, okay, for a replacement, y'all are okay.
They were quirky and weird.
I like the fact that he was basically a Mark, and the rest of them are basically celebrities on the severed floor now, because they started the microdata uprising that they called it. The other innies who have never experienced being outside are now amongst other innies who did something like some crazy revolutionary thing to them. And I like that they were like asking Mark all those questions, like, did you know who your family was?
Did you see what the sky was?
Yeah, what's the first thing you did? And Aaliyah Shawkat's character was like, I don't think I'd ever forget like what the sky looked like.
Yeah,
I was like outside for the first time.
You're right.
So I like that they are known now.
They're like
their little group.
They're like celebrities. Yeah. And they even Lumen has created a new orientation video around the 4 of them to say, hey, it's not bad, and we're thankful that the 4 of them actually got out and did what they did, and we've made changes based off of what they did and all that. And it's like, yeah, all right.
Voiced by Keanu Reeves,
who sounds like Keanu Reeves, but I don't know if I would have known that, because that got spoiled, I guess.
That got spoiled. I don't think I would have known that.
Right, but once I knew it, I was like, oh, that sounds like Keanu Reeves. I was like, was he just like stopping by in the area? How did this happen? So
Lumen's plan now is to just be a little bit more transparent with the innies, so that they don't feel the need to revolt against
exactly. So when our 4 Mark is kind of like, I don't want these people, I want my team back, and Milkshake is telling him like, oh, they decided not to come back or what. And I thought that was interesting, because we find out that Milkshake is actually lying. What happened was, so I guess that maybe doesn't happen till the next episode, but Milchek basically tells Mark, like, these your new people, you got to go work with them. And Mark's like, I don't want them.
Right.
I want my people back. He eventually causes an uproar, or a little skernuffle. And as Mark does, he ends up calling the board, which we still don't know what the board is. I have some theories on that.
Yeah, because the board isn't Helly and Kier and her uncle or dad or whoever.
We still talk to the board via the speaker.
Yeah.
And homegirl with the mic. or with the headset.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't really ever see the board, which is still weird. But anyway, Mark ends up breaking into Milchick's office, talking to the board, and gets his way, and everybody shows back up.
Yeah.
And come to find out, though, Milchick actually fired everybody but Mark.
Yes.
And they actually, because the way they...
Mark is essential.
Mark is essential. And Milchick was kind of like, oh, you know, they didn't want to come back. And, you know, your Audi was the only person that came back. And I was like, that's weird. Why would Mark still want to come back? But he's lying. Everybody actually was fired.
Yeah.
And they actually did want to come back. And Milchick told them no. And I was like, oh, Milchick seems more sinister than he was.
Yeah, he's always
first.
seemed. Now he's just front and center evil because
Yes.
Cobell's not in the way anymore.
Right,
but he
right.
always seemed, because you're not severed. And for you
He's
not to be
not.
severed and to still be participating in all this weirdness and to know what's going on
good.
makes you a little sick.
Right. It's not. So Milchick is definitely more of a in-your-face evil guy. Because I guess in the first season, like, you knew he was up to something and he wasn't quite, like, you know, on their side. But you was like, oh, maybe he had a soft spot.
What I want to know is
ain't got no soft spot.
if Miss Huang is severed or not.
I don't. So we get
She's a child.
Our new character, Miss Wong. She's like Milchick's assistant.
She's the new Milchick, I guess.
Okay,
She's
maybe
the
she's
new rhythmic
right.
jazz
So
instructor.
Cobell's still gone at this point. She's not hired back yet.
No.
Milchick is now Miss Cobell,
Mhm.
and then we got Miss Wong, who's got to be 13.
Yeah, like a freshman in
14.
high school, maybe.
Yeah, and but she's got a very stoic, like they've trained her well,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't tell if she's severed or not.
She's
but
like
it was
the world's most dedicated hall monitor.
She is, and she got like her clothes is like super neat and intact. She walks straight and arrow, and it's also like, wouldn't she be too young to be severed?
I don't know, because they kind of teased they were doing weird things they were severing maybe wives earlier in season 1 when Devin runs into the wife at the park who doesn't recognize her, who had the kids. Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
They've already sprinkled the seeds that Lumen just severs whoever they want, or could be
forgot all
severing
about-
people unethically.
In the first season, there was the wife who she recognized her. The wife did, and it seemed like
she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Then didn't recognize her after she had her baby.
I forgot all about that.
So maybe they
Dang.
sever themselves during the pregnancy.
Or maybe, you know, somebody has the rights to, like, have you severed and you don't know it.
If you're a parent or guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Wong is weird.
She is.
She a weird child.
She is.
She a weird. The actress
Her
is doing.
foreshadowing is like there.
The actress
She's
is
gonna
doing
be a problem.
a very good job of being extremely
Yeah,
weird.
she's gonna be an issue later on down
With
the
this
line.
little girl, right? So we found out that all our I feel like all the characters in this episode, in this season, are gonna have different motives.
Yeah,
essentially.
and they're more involved.
Yes,
like
yes,
even
yes.
even his sister and her husband are gonna play a bigger part
I
in this
do
season.
like his sister though.
I love Devin.
Mark's sister.
She's so good.
What is Mark's sister's name?
Is it not Devin or is it? Yeah, it's Devin. Yeah.
Is it Devin? Okay. Yes. She's more involved. Like she's trying to figure out what's going on. Mark's trying to figure out what's going on with his wife because at the end of the first season, he found out she was alive.
Is he though? Is he trying to? Well, I guess now. And when once we get into episode 3, it seems like now he's starting to want to take an interest in what happened to his wife.
Okay. Yeah. I guess the first episode or so, it's more like the team wants to figure out what Lumen is doing.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then very quickly, it seems to turn into everybody's got their own objective.
Yeah.
Probably by the mid-episode, or maybe by the end of episode 1.
So all the innies, Mark, Helly,
Irving and Dylan.
And Dylan. I was going to call him Devin. Mark, Helly, Irving, and Dylan are still on course. Irving took some persuading because he was a little distraught by
about
Christopher
Bert.
Walken having his own life. But they're back on the path
to take down
discover
Lumen.
what micro data processing actually is, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we still don't know what that is. The only Audi that seems interested so far in finding out what's going on is just Devin. Seems like Devin's fighting an uphill battle by herself a little.
But Devin, yeah, you're right.
Because even Mark goes off on her a little bit for trying to find out more about his wife.
Yeah, because and I guess she was sincere. She was like, I want to know what happened to Gemma as well. Yeah. Like if something's up. He was like, do you really care, or are you just trying to find out what's going on? And I was like, oh, that's...
And it's weird to be in her... I get it. in her shoes too, because it's like she's not gonna drop it, because at the end of the day her brother has a microchip in his head, and she herself can't trust that his own thoughts and his intentions are his own.
Right.
So,
and she was there when he flipped, right? So she's like, okay,
So
obviously something's wrong
she
here.
has to advocate for him, because she doesn't know if he's actually in his right mind or not.
That, and she's never wanted Mark to work there anyway.
Exactly. So she's not gonna drop it, and she shouldn't. So even if he cursed her out at a diner, I would still keep going.
Right. Which eventually they do. They have an argument in a diner, and then the next episode they back together.
Right.
Again. So that worked out. Now, one interesting thing I thought was how quickly Dylan falls off the path. So at the end,
because Milchek.
So at the end of episode 1, Milchek tells Dylan, we've got this. Don't tell anybody else, but we've got this new thing that we're gonna do where the innies can visit loved ones of the outie. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because obviously the outie don't know anything about the innie doesn't know anything about the outie's life.
Right.
But Dylan now knows that he has a wife and kids.
Yeah, because he went to his house.
Because he went to his house and they didn't forget their memories when they flip back and forth.
Right.
So now Dylan's like, oh, I gotta be on code essentially because I want to see my outie's family. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, Dylan's compromised. He's literally not going to go with the plan anymore because he wants to experience whatever's going on outside.
So I'm assuming outie Dylan is accepting some type of extra compensation for doing this, because
does he know though? Outie Dylan wouldn't know what any Dylan is doing.
He wouldn't know that his wife is visiting him.
His wife. Oh, okay. His wife knows now. In episode.
Yeah. So is that a secret?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Dylan is quickly not on the goal anymore of taking down Lumen because Milchek has given him the opportunity to see his outie family.
Because they don't really make it very clear whether or not Dylan's outie knows that the wife is visiting his innie. Because Milchek brings it up to Dylan as the wife wanted you to know her name or the son's name. Mm-hmm. And that's weird. Why did the wife want to know that? Why would the wife want his innie to know that instead of his outie wanting him to know that?
I actually thought that they were going to play him, and I guess we jump in episodes. But in episode 3, Dylan does meet the outie wife. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to fake it and just bring in some random person because he wouldn't have known. But it actually is his wife. I was like, oh, you actually brought that man's actual wife in here.
Yeah.
And it's weird because she's kind of like, you really don't know who I am? He's like, no, ma'am, never met you.
It's weird that you would want to meet him.
Yeah. And they talking about the kids, and she's showing him pictures, and Dylan's feeling real good because he's like, oh man, I'm providing for my outie family. Yeah. So he done. Dylan done. I don't think he gets.
And they kind of plant the seeds that he can't go anywhere else. Outies, people who are severed, face discrimination in the workforce. Mm-hmm, they are considered freaks and weirdos.
Yes,
which,
Dylan tries to get a job after he gets fired. In episode, we see episode 2 what the outies were doing during their period of being fired. Mm-hmm. He tried to go to get a job. It starts off okay. It don't go well once they find out he was severed.
I would not. Yeah, it's a little sad that they could discriminate against from being hired because they are severed people. However, I do understand the fear of severed people.
Why? I didn't get why the guy was so annoyed about it.
Because of the overtime contingency protocol. There's a tool in which they can just flip a switch and make you do whatever they want you to do.
You could be a different person.
You could just be a different person.
I get it.
And I feel like that's the first thing Skynet would use in Uprising is to hack into everybody's severed chips.
And all of a sudden, you talking to somebody different. Like,
we now have
to
fight the machines and the humans. Right. So I get it's a reasonable amount of fear. I think it does suck that they're discriminated against because of that.
Yes. Yes.
His whole job interview seemed like it was going to go really well, and then the guy just completely flipped on him.
Done. Interview was over.
Because it doesn't matter unless you sever your own workplace.
Yeah.
Severed people don't flip back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. So it was sad to see Dylan's outie life, but then it's also sad to see that any Dylan about to make sure he stay there.
And we know Dylan likes perks, and that's probably why Milchek went after him.
Yeah. Milchek
he's good.
He's very good.
Good villain.
He's very good this episode. So Irving is still on code. Still with the mission to take down Lumen, but he's trying to figure out what the door is that his outie has been drawn.
Because his outie is kind of in the know.
Yes, his outies was keeping tabs on Lumen and the people in there. He is suspicious of Helly now, which we'll get to what's going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
But Irving is trying to find the black door in his paintings. He thinks it's somewhere in Lumen. He just don't know where it is. And he runs back into Felicia, who was Bert's coworker. And they're having a good chit chat and they're having a good old time. They reminiscing, and then he shows her pictures that he drew of Bert, and it's all, oh, this is cute, and then she flipped to the last page of his little book, and it's the door, and she calls it the export hall.
Yeah,
and she's like, what you know about this place? And Irvin's like,
that's where their finished developments go.
What you know about this place? And I was like, oh snap, this about to get. So I feel like Irv's mission is now to find, instead of taking down Lumen, essentially, he's trying to find where this export hall is.
It's so easy. It's so interesting that for as secretive as Lumen is, they allow
them to walk over it.
They allow people from different departments to talk to each other. Yeah, like that. Because that would be the first. I mean, I guess because they don't remember once they leave the floor.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
still,
I mean, once they flip back upstairs,
Nick Fury wouldn't allow that.
No, and ain't no like maps in none of these halls. Every time they walk around the floor, I'll be like, "How do y'all know
no idea where
to go?" Because ain't no maps around here.
In the beginning of this season, when Mark's running off the elevator and he's running around, and we get a glimpse of maybe a second Mark standing behind him,
creepy,
because we don't get a face, but he was the same height. It was out of focus. Yeah, he looked like the same person.
Yeah,
but it looked like he went down a different corner.
It looked like he peeked out and then to see what Mark was doing, and then he went back wherever he was. Yeah, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I didn't realize it might have been another Mark because I was like,
"It happened so quickly."
I was too creeped out by it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that type of spookiness.
Yes,
because
it happens in the background while you focused on Mark. There's a figure that looks like Mark, and you like, well, what is that? But it's literally like 2 seconds. So
and he steps out of the frame.
Right, because Mark is going to look for,
I guess, his team.
Yes, he's like running around trying to look for his team. I think he was looking for the wellness place.
Yeah,
where Miss Casey was, but it's like they remodeled, so it's not there anymore. So we got Mark trying to find basically Miss Casey. That's what Mark's mission is.
That's his main goal.
That's his main goal. We also find out that Mark is trying to send himself a message by burning a message in his brain. In his retina. I didn't understand how that was supposed to work.
He was trying to reach out to his outie in several occasions. So the first time was a Post-it note that was sloppy, but I think that was just a ploy to distract them so he could run to the board. I feel like that. I thought that was stupid because I was like, Mark, this is such a stupid move. Why would you make a Post-it note? But it was just a ploy so he could distract them.
Okay, you're right, because then he immediately takes off and runs to the board. You're right. Okay.
I guess so. Mark, Annie, and eventually, so for right now, any Mark is still trying to find Miss Casey.
Yes.
Helly is just helping. Because Helly is retaining her secrets.
So Helly,
Nazi princess.
We'll get to, so as we know, Helly is actually the daughter, Lumen daughter. So they're all talking about, and Mark's kind of asking everybody, okay, what did you see? What did you see? What did you see? So Irv says what he says. Dylan said what he says. We get the Helly behind. And she was like, oh, I just woke up in an apartment.
Wearing a Free the Gorillas t-shirt.
By myself. And, just home alone. And everybody's like, oh, that's it? Except Irv was like, this sounds suspicious. She's like, yeah, I just walked outside and I saw a gardener. And he was like, you saw a gardener? At night?
Yeah, that was a good question.
And I was like, uh-oh, Irv is on to something.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is she lying? Like, I don't understand why. I text you literally and was like, I do not understand. Because you, I think, had already watched it. I hadn't started yet. I was like,
I knew. But I was like, she hasn't gotten that far yet. Why is she
lying? So I'm like, okay, watch it. And then we get to the end of the episode. I think it's the end of the episode 1. And what actually is going on is that Helly's behind never got flipped back.
Yeah, Helly gone.
Helly is dead, essentially. So when everybody comes back together, Helly, when she's having her Audi experience, her family is basically like, you need to clean this up.
Yeah.
So she basically goes on like a press tour. Not a tour, but she's done like a press where like, I was lying, I was drunk, I was taking some non-Lumen drugs.
Lumen's already doesn't have trust of the people anyway.
Exactly.
Because
like,
of just the principle.
This is breaking y'all trust. I'm so sorry. All of this was a lie, whatever. So Helena is basically trying to clean everything up. And she's still herself though. Cause I thought, I was like, maybe Helena's going to be like, a person for the people. No.
No.
She is a Lewin through and through. So
yeah.
So when Mark asks for his team back, they gotta send her back down there because they like, hey yo, we need Mark for this special mission. Like you need to go back down there, and she do go back down there as Helena.
Yeah.
She does not go back down there as Helly.
And she's faking as Helly.
Helly is dead.
Yeah.
She and I didn't think about it because I was like, oh, they can't send her back down there as Helly because Helly is turned up.
We don't even know if she's still severed.
Yeah, they might have took her chip out.
Did they take her chip out, or can they do that? Do they think that they can do that?
I don't know, but the person down there with Mark and the rest of the team is Helena.
Because we know that they can, but do they know that they can? So is she still severed, or are they just not hitting the button when she goes down there?
Exactly. So she could still have the chip in her head, but she is definitely playing double agent.
Yeah, but Helly ain't been back since the end of season
I think Helly is gone.
Because I don't see her flipping. I don't see her willingly letting them flip her back now that she knows that Helly was a problem for her all season 1.
Exactly.
A big problem.
Yes.
Like a self-harm
That's why I was like,
problem.
they can't send Helly back.
Helly was harming herself. And now that she knows that Helly has like this love interest on the inside, she's like, no, I'm not going to let you flip me back to that.
Exactly. So, yeah. So it looks like Helena's been watching like videos and stuff of all the people down there. So she knows how to act because she's been watching these videos. But she a double agent.
Yeah.
So all of our team people, all of our 4 key players is all on their own different paths of what they doing. And one big thing we also learned is that Mark is important because of some project called Cold Harbor. Mm-hmm. No idea what it is.
I have hunches.
Okay.
I think it's either resurrection.
Oh, so they bringing people back from the dead.
Or cloning. Because Cold Harbor has to do specifically with Miss Casey. Who died on the outside.
Yes.
But somehow she is severed on the inside. So if she actually
she's not
died,
like her, she looks regular too. And from our understanding, she burned, right? In a car.
Yeah.
She was burned in a car accident.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, so is Cold Harbor like something to do with like freezing? Like
But why would they need Mark is what I'm confused about. Like Mark seems very essential to whatever this Cold Harbor thing is.
When you bring somebody back from the dead, you want to have a familiar face for them to look at.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't
something.
know. But I think Cold Harbor has to do with maybe they cloned her, but she's not ready for the real world yet.
She was weird.
Yeah.
Miss Casey wasn't all the way there.
And I think that kind of falls in line with, I think that was what the tease of the second Mark in the hallway was about.
Okay. But why would that Mark be running around?
I don't know. Maybe there's marks in other departments. Because we get a little weird in episode 3.
We get super weird in episode 3.
Maybe there's other marks in other departments, which I would not be surprised if there's like an evil mark.
Because as you guys, if you've seen episode or seen season 1, there's some goats. We run into goats. We get more goats in episode 3.
Yeah, we get some Midsummer vibes.
We get a farm of goats, but now the farm is inside, right? So they ain't no regular in the farm. Mm-hmm. And there are shepherds in this farm, but these shepherds is kind of like
they're a little yellow jacket-ish.
They give a real cultish. And I was kind of, they seem like a cult who ain't been outside. And I was just kind of like, how do y'all keeping this up if y'all are flipping back and forth every day? But I guess the innies and the outies don't know that.
I don't think they all go out. I don't think Miss Casey ever goes out.
I was wondering. I was like, these seem like people who don't leave.
These are forever ins.
Because y'all acting way too weird.
Yeah, the way they were ingrained on that. What was that department called?
Oh, I could. let's see. Malamus Naturable?
Mammalians Naturable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes. So, and we still don't know what they're doing with the goats, which, I mean.
The goats weren't harmed. But
cloning. Wasn't the first clone like that sheep or something?
Probably.
So that could be a cloning thing. But I don't think everybody who's severed leaves.
The people in episode 3 didn't seem like they left.
Don't leave.
they was real out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
And they asked to see so Helly quote unquote Helly and Mark are trying to go look for Miss Casey. Like they got these posters that they're drawn up and like, have you seen Miss Casey? So they get to this other department with the goats and the shepherds. And at the end, I don't know what they were about to do, but the lady tells them like, y'all should have left. And they're standing around them in a circle. And I'm like, are they about to kill? Are they about to kill them or
look
what?
Like real Midsummer-ish.
It was getting real strange. Yeah. But they end up talking them. Mark and Helly talked themselves out of it, So let them go because they do know Miss Casey. And they were like, the last time we saw her, she was alive and she was really nice or whatever. And at the very end, before they leave, one of the guys asked the lady to show them their bellies. And I was just kind of like, what is going on with y'all? Why are y'all weird? It just don't seem like they leave. And I'm very suspicious of, this supposed to be a place where you got innies and you outies, but now we got people who probably don't get to leave, which is strange. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe they don't leave, or maybe they're there for just a extended period of time before they rotate out.
Maybe
but they definitely can't be doing that each and every day. Or maybe they're clones.
Yeah.
So interesting. I thought Mammalians Naturable was the most interesting department we've seen so far.
It was getting pretty scary.
First interesting, I guess the goats were the most weird thing we saw in the first season.
Right, because we wasn't expecting no animals.
Like overboard. So hope we get more departments.
More departments would be good. I like the flipping of the back and forth between innies and outies.
Yes.
So I think episode 2 was a lot of outie situation. You got to see quite a bit of it. I mean, they basically caught us up with what everybody was doing on the outside for that short period of time. I like that. I hope we keep getting to see Devin.
Yes.
The sister and her quirky husband. Because he's just fun. What is the black girl's name?
Natalie.
Okay. I was like, let me just, what is?
Natalie.
Natalie is weird.
I don't even know if Natalie's human.
Natalie seemed like AI.
She does.
She's the only person who gets to talk to the board.
She seems like she's a person.
Oh, before we get to Rickon, so I don't know if this was at the very beginning or what part of the episode. So Natalie comes to Milchek and is like, the board wants to thank you and give you a gift. And the gift is images of the founders. They're like paintings of the founders, but it's blackface. I don't know what it is. And it's weird because they basically gave Milchek paintings of like, this could be you, but it couldn't be him because Milchek is not a founder. But they basically just took a black man and painted him in all these white pictures.
Yeah.
And it was like, it is so awkward because Natalie's like looking at Milchek and Milchek's looking at Natalie. And she's like, yes, this is awkward, but I can't tell you this is awkward because that's against my protocol.
Vegans are freaking weird, man. They're so weird.
But what I did like about it though is Milchek don't seem to be going along with it. Like he don't like it. Like he ends up taking the pictures and putting them away and hiding them. I guess he's not hiding them, but he don't hang them up or nothing. He just puts them away. And I was like, okay, Milchek at least he got a little common sense of like, okay, it felt a little racist, to be quite honest.
I think they're just weird because, and I forgot, it's been so long from the first season, but remember the pancake breakfast that Dylan won or something?
Yeah.
Where they was like dancing in the mask. I think the Egans are just
like tied
out of this.
to the bed or
yes,
something?
I think the Egans are just out of this world weird.
I don't even know if the Egans exist at this point. Like, who is Natalie talking to?
Or whoever Helena's daddy is the one running the show far.
Right.
The rest of them are weird.
Still alive, and I'm at this point, I don't know if he is human. But Natalie actually is also working with Rickon. Rickon's a good guy. Not working with Rickon in a bad way. She goes to Rickon because they want to make a copy of his book, but they want to make any version of the book. And I actually thought Devin was gonna protest it, but Devin's like, sure, whatever, I don't care, do what you want to do.
I think Devin's letting them do it because it'll keep them distracted, or at least keep Rickon busy, because Rickon is a nuisance. I mean, he's not bad, but he's just distracting and annoying.
He's good for distracting.
And I think Devin is like, I really need to focus right now, so you go do your little show or whatever.
It's so weird.
It makes sense that they want him to do a book. They want him to do a version of the book that doesn't cause revolution.
Exactly.
That makes sense why they would go to him for
and
that.
Natalie's like, yeah, we just need to change a couple of the words. And she said that we found that some of the wording the innies tend to prefer. And I was like,
his book is basically Manchurian Candidate.
Right. I was like, this sounds like some freaky science experiment y'all done conducted.
Yeah,
what is this?
Basically, I don't know what it is about his book, but his book contains like the same words in Bucky's book that like unlocks the Winter Soldier and wakes him up.
Sausage.
Some of the words in his book wakes him up. So they're like, this is a problem. Rickon knows that the book became popular
because
in the first episode of season 1, when Markin is talking to Devin and Rickon, Rickon is aware that his book is the one that woke up the innies. So now it's probably known all over the world that this book is the thing that wakes up innies.
I don't like the way Natalie approached that, though. She was like, we just need to change a couple of the words.
I mean, because she's working for the board, so...
Natalie a robot.
Let's talk to Dr. Rick Hobby.
That is the reintegration doctor?
That's the Severance doctor, yeah.
Yes, black lady, right?
Mm-hmm. The one that removes the chips.
So she shows up when Mark is trying to burn his message into his retina. And I was like, what the heck is he doing?
With Devin's assistance.
Right, and she's like, that's not gonna work.
No.
Open up this card.
I don't know why they didn't call her back the first time.
Well, he
didn't have a way to. She said she would find him.
The last time,
she's been gone for so long.
Yeah, because we only saw her one or two episodes.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Right. So she's been MIA. She didn't pop back up. I have no idea how she found out Mark was sitting where he's sitting, but maybe she's just keeping tabs on folk. She shows up and she's like, I can help you reintegrate. I've gotten better at it. And I was like, is you practicing on somebody?
I forgot. It's been so long. I forgot like
That's
whole
who Petey went
Cobell's
to, right?
assistant that got shot. Remember Cobell sent the assistant?
She killed that man.
She killed that man.
She beat him with a bat.
Yeah, so she's a murderer and a scientist, but
it was self-defense.
Petey was technically a success, but Petey did not follow her instructions.
She had to take meds or something, right?
Yeah, she said Petey stopped taking his medications.
Right.
And he started flipping back and forth on the outside.
So she is telling Mark, like, before we get to that part, she tells Mark that she actually saw Gemma alive. Because Mark is like, do you know where Gemma is? And she's like, yeah, last time I saw her, she was alive. Now, he don't ask no questions about when that was.
Doesn't mean that's original Gemma, though.
Mark literally asks no questions. He's just like, boom, let's do it. Let's reintegrate me. And she's like, all right, let's go. So they go to his basement and she starts, and I actually like this scene a lot because she's trying to fine-tune Mark's brainwaves, I guess, to get him back reintegrated. And the scene's just really well shot and edited with her asking him questions. And he knows the questions at first, but he's kind of like, I don't remember, I don't know, because his innie and his outie are starting to get remerged, I guess.
Yeah.
So at the very end of the third episode, where they leave us off as Mark is now reintegrated with his innie and his outie. And then the episode goes off. Yeah.
So very interested to see how Mark reacts to having shared memories of both. Is he going to go in a PD direction?
I don't know. It's not gonna be smooth sailing.
Is it only gonna be the three of them that know? Devin, Mark, and the doctor?
Is he gonna tell anybody?
I don't think she should tell Rickon.
Well, technically, he has to tell Devin.
He has to tell Devin.
He's gonna tell because that's his. I mean, they close. So he's
that was
probably
the whole point of she's the only other person who knows he was trying to do this.
Right. You're right.
So I think she should absolutely not tell Rickon.
She's not. Now, I would give his sister something. She's smart enough not to get Rickon involved when he don't need to be.
She seemed like the smartest person on the outside,
which makes you wonder why she married to him. Is that
probably because it's easy?
Maybe. Yeah. He is a nice guy, but he is goofy. I don't know what.
He probably is the source of. He probably doesn't give her any grief.
She is too smart for that man.
He's annoying, but he's like, he doesn't stress me out.
By leaps and bounds. But I bet you Mark's probably not going to tell anybody. I don't think he's going to tell
shouldn't tell any of the innies. He should keep it to himself.
Definitely not Dylan's behind.
Definitely not Helena.
Nobody.
Helly's dead.
And Irvin probably ain't going to be able to hold water. So.
No.
No. Yeah, I do.
He should keep it to himself, absolutely.
He's going to. It's so many questions. Like, is Gemma alive? She can't be alive and dead. Where her body at? Where her old body at?
Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't be smart to tell the innies because they don't know who he is. And
they don't know who outside Mark is.
Helena's planting this seed of like the outies, the innies, we're all we have. The outies, we don't know them. We don't owe them anything.
She landed on
you twisted.
She landed on thick.
She is.
I wonder how long it's going to be before they find out. I don't know how. The end of the season. I was gonna say I don't even know how they would find out. So it's probably gonna be an end of the season situation.
Didn't expect Helly being on my back ice card this
season. I wonder how long Dylan gonna not fight the power, because he's clearly not trying to ruffle no feathers at this point. And I'm wondering where Irv is gonna find this. Maybe next episode. I mean, it seemed like the hall is close. Wherever he's been drawing is close, and what it is. Like, why is it called the Expo?
It probably won't hit the fan till like episode 5, the halfway point.
Probably. You're right, because it's
But
10.
I don't think it's been slow. It's been as quickly paced as the first season. I mean, it's not fast, but
it doesn't feel like an hour.
the mystery is there that keeps you interested. They don't give away too much, and if anything, they introduce more weird things before they actually solve any problems.
There are more questions than answers. I'll tell you that much. You're not gonna get no questions or no answers for much.
The mammal floor was weird. I want to know what happens there.
The shepherds.
And what are the husbandry traits?
You didn't like the shepherds with the goats? That was.
And what was Miss Casey doing down there?
I don't know. And why Mark? And we didn't even touch on Miss Cobell, who was lurking. So Miss Cobell
was fired.
She was fired. They tried to hire her back. She said she think about it because she wants her old job back because she knows about Cold Harbor. And she's like, I want to finish what I started. But Helena is kind of like, nah, we got something else for you. And Miss Cobell like, I don't want that. So she actually leaves. Runs into Mark. Mark asks about Gemma. She don't say nothing. She just screams and rides away.
Still know her motives are.
No idea. She ends up driving off, but she turns around, comes back, meets up with Helena in a parking lot. And Helena's like, we started off on a bad foot. Let's go to the board and talk. So they get all the way to Helena's car, and then Miss Cobell freaks out and runs away, gets in her car and leaves. I have no idea what's going on with that woman.
We don't know what the board is. Maybe she's scared of the board.
Is
the board like aliens?
It's AI. The board is AI.
The board could be robots.
I don't think the board is real.
Yeah.
And I don't know who Natalie talking to.
It makes sense if microdata processing was just them doing stuff for AI.
Natalie's probably talking to somebody's consciousness like Zemo.
Yeah.
Not Zemo. Whoever in the Winter Soldier. Yeah, him. This is probably that.
Armin Zola.
Yeah, she's probably talking to Zola.
Yeah.
She got to be.
It could be Zola.
I don't believe it's people. I don't believe it's people.
Because Zola was the one who built the helicarriers or gave them the algorithm. So it's there.
It's something in there. So we don't know what's going on with Miss Cobell either. I think Miss Cobell's gonna fight with the Innies or fight alongside the Audis.
It seems like I think she's going to switch. Because it seems like
she's going to switch back and forth quite a few times.
It seems like she really wants to tell Mark what's going on. But I'm not exactly sure why.
But she also seems to want to finish whatever Cold Harbor is.
She's definitely conflicted, but we still don't know what her actual motives are.
Yeah, so that is also playing out in the background as well. So like we said, more questions than answers for sure. I do like that Milchek is like more, I hate to say it, he's more sinister. But I kind of like it because he's a good character.
He gets more time because Cobell isn't there.
Yes, he gets more time. We're getting a little character growth, but I also like that they're giving him, he's not just bad. He's clearly got some conflicts going on with whatever the heck the board was doing with them pitches. He ain't like that.
Because I don't think he fully knows either.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think he's kept it. Like, I don't think he knows the board is AI, like I'm calling it.
No.
I don't think Natalie even knows. I don't think anybody knows.
No. Yeah.
Maybe Helena knows.
Helena knows what the board is.
Yeah.
And Cobell maybe.
Because she said they were going to go but maybe they were just going to go talk to the speaker. Because remember, she calls Natalie and she says, Natalie, can you get the board? You know what? Nobody has access to the board.
The board could just be a computer. It could be HAL 9000.
Yeah, but pacing is good. Editing is good. Mystery is good. I mean, they literally picked up where they left off. Yeah. I have no negatives so far.
Yeah. And Ben Stiller says that he already knows where they want to end it. And how they wanted it. So that's good.
The whole show?
Yeah, he said they already have the ending in mind. Oh. So that's good. I like when they have the ending in mind.
I think they did say they started on season 3.
Yeah.
Writing.
So that's good.
So we shouldn't have as long of a wait. Whew, thank God. Do you have anything else?
No, that was it for me.
All right, so that is it for the first 3 episodes of Severance. We talked about a lot, but it's a really good show, y'all.
It is.
If you have not started season 2, get on it. Don't get too far behind. Although some people like to wait to binge it, you should watch it. So we can all talk about it together.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's exciting enough to watch weekly.
It is. I agree. All right, so that is it for this review. Now we're going to jump into our review for Spider-Man.
All right, so Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man premiered on Disney+. It is a Disney+ original series.
If you didn't know.
Came out January 29th, 2025. Creator and showrunner
Jeff Tramiel.
Yes, created by Jeff Tramiel.
Black guy, by the way.
Yes.
Woohoo!
It is starring Hudson Thames, Carrie Walgren, Grace Song, Eugene Bird, Zeno Robinson, and Coleman Domingo. This is an animated show, so we don't actually see faces. These are voice actors.
Yes.
Has a runtime of about 30 minutes per episode.
Good runtime.
So no ads because it goes straight to streaming.
Unless you on the lower tier of Disney Plus. You might
Yes,
get
so
an
I
ad.
mean, if you're on the lower tier of Disney Plus,
We
you
didn't
might
get no
an
ad, which is ridiculous. We didn't go ahead.
No budget information yet. They usually don't release that until after the series is finished.
True, you're true.
With
Yeah,
Disney
true.
Plus stuff. So no budget, no box office because it didn't go to theaters.
No.
Ratings so far has a 97% Rotten Tomatoes critic score and a 63% audience.
It's getting review bombed. I
It
looked.
is.
I was like, this don't sound. Now the reviews I've seen on social media have all been good. I mean,
Yes.
some people don't like the animation style,
Mhm.
which I feel like you can get over. But
After you look at it for a certain period of time.
after the first episode, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
So I think the Rotten Tomato score is review because some of the reviews were like Disney just can't get it right. Get what? Get
This
what
might be
right?
the first Spider-Man thing that's ever been review bombed, though. So
Oh well, go woke,
everybody
go
has
broke.
their turn.
Anywho, right, you're right. And then
Everybody's
when the
got their
next
turn
time
in the
Halloween
carousel.
come out, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, we love Spider-Man again."
Right.
Right.
So what is this show about? It is an origin story for Peter Parker.
Another
A
one.
semi-origin story. We don't go all the way through the...
They do it quick.
They do it quick. We get to...
Real quick.
As far as we get a bite and a time jump.
Exactly. And Ben's already dead.
Yeah. So I guess as much of an origin as No Way Home
Okay.
was an
you're
origin.
right. Yeah,
So we
yeah.
get an origin story for Peter Parker,
Mhm.
except this is a Peter Parker in a different universe.
Correct.
So he is going to encounter different characters, non-MCU characters, some characters who are in the MCU, but we have not gotten clarity on what version of character that might have be. Like
Right.
Doctor Strange. We don't know which Doctor Strange
It
that
ain't the
was.
one from What If. It ain't the one from 616.
Exactly.
He's new.
So these are in a parallel universe
Mhm.
with familiar characters, and we're going to basically watch. This is like Spider-Man Year One because
Yeah.
Batman Year One was his first time with his villains. Is Spider-Man Year One.
With first time, I guess he's learning how to be Spider-Man,
Mhm.
and he's encountering new foes and allies.
And he has not encountered a supervillain as of yet.
No,
No.
not in these first 2 episodes.
No.
No. Okay. So this has the first episode came out is a weekly. Well, it's not weekly. The release schedule is weird. They're releasing this in chunks. So you can watch the first 2 episodes right now, or depending on when you listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can watch like multiple episodes at a time. The 30-minute runtime is good though, I will say. It doesn't drag, and it's also not, it's like X-Men 97 in terms of how I feel about the pacing.
Okay.
So I like that. The animation style is different, and when last episode where you were like the animation style hurt your eyes a little bit, I could see how that happened.
Yeah.
This is, I don't even know how to describe
It's
it.
a motion picture.
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe it's moving too much. I don't know, but at first my eyes.
It's the frame rate.
Okay, maybe
That's what
is that
it
what it
is.
is?
Yeah.
Okay. It took a little adjusting, but after the first episode, I was fine. Like I watched the second episode and they had no issues.
Yeah.
But it looks clean. I like the clean look of it.
It does. Yeah.
It's like it's literally like a comic strip.
Yeah.
Plan.
They kind of do the original Hulk movie thing.
Okay.
Where
okay.
that hasn't been done since that. We're talking about the Eric Bana Hulk one.
Okay.
Where they do the comic panels,
Yeah.
transitions.
Yeah.
And I like that. It didn't work. I liked it in the Hulk thing,
Okay.
but it works better as a cartoon.
Okay, I
Yes.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first episode, we get our intro to how Peter becomes Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's quick. Basically, Doctor Strange show up fighting
Symbiote monsters?
It looked like a
I've never
symbiote.
seen that type of symbiote
The symbiote
monster.
look real cool. actually.
Outrider-ish. It looked like an Outrider. The
Yeah.
things from Infinity War.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
It looked like
that's
that a little
exactly
bit.
what the symbiote looked like. So Doctor Strange is fighting a symbiote, but he's obviously coming through another dimension.
Okay.
Some spider we don't know what the spider is hanging on to.
It's also a different looking spider.
Yes, the spider looks very symbiotish.
Yeah.
It looked like it's from another dimension. And the web is hanging on something, but it comes down as Doctor Strange doing his thing. And when the portal closes, the web cuts and falls on Peter.
Yeah.
And it bites Peter. Peter passes out, and then that's how he becomes Spider-Man. But it happens in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. If you've never heard of Spider-Man before, then I guess you have a disadvantage, but we all know.
It all happens with a bite.
It all happens with a bite.
Yeah.
And then they time jump a couple months.
Yeah.
And he's already got his web shooters. He already got his outfit. He already fighting crime.
Which I appreciate.
I also appreciated that the pacing of how we get to how he becomes Spider-Man to how he starts fighting crime is very quick. And I had no problems with that.
At this point, Spider-Man's up there with Batman and Superman as far as origins.
We don't need it.
We've seen it. We know
don't need it.
Yeah.
We don't need it. And then, so in the first episode, we also get our new characters introduced. Mm-hmm. So Nico, how you say Nico's last name?
Minoru.
Nico Minoru. Now, what's her origin? Because I've never heard of
She's from
Nico.
The Runaways.
Okay.
Which used to have, which one is one of the live action MCU series that went to Hulu.
Oh, I've heard of Runaways. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when the Runaways are a group of superpowered teenagers mm-hmm. who are the children of superpowered adults who are all evil. That's why they call themselves the Runaways, because they're the kids of villains. So they all band together and run away from home.
That is just like the show Descendants on Disney.
Oh, is it?
That's literally what Descendants is.
Well, that was the Runaways in the comics.
It was the kids of the evil villains from all the Disney movies.
They probably took it from Marvel Comics.
That is hilarious.
But that's what the Runaways was.
Okay,
they were the kids of all the villains from various villains across the MCU.
Gotcha. Okay, so we get Nico, who I liked.
And she's a witch in the comics.
Oh.
So she's
got a gothic-ish look in this.
Yeah, so in the comics, she's a witch who specializes in blood magic. So her magic requires the use of her blood to cast.
I don't know if they're going to do that in this.
And her special weapon is the Staff of One.
Okay.
Which is a super powerful magic staff that casts any spell you want it to. But the gimmick is that it can only cast a spell once.
Oh, dang.
That's why it's called this cast staff.
You got to think real hard on
you got to think real hard and think about whether it's worth it.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
She's like a super powerful witch.
So I wonder if they're going to make her have the same powers in this show.
I don't know, because they don't really...
I wonder, or is she just going to be Nico?
Is she keeping it to herself? Or
right, because she would have already had it, right? She don't obtain it.
So
maybe she has to unlock it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, in these first 2 episodes, Nico just regular.
She is.
She's Peter's best friend.
Yeah.
And then we also get an introduction of, I don't know if this is a new character or Pearl Pagan, who is Peter's crush. Now, normally we get like an MJ figure.
Or Gwen. She's pre-Gwen MJ.
Yeah.
She's just some new love.
I guess she would be kind of like in our first Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Her name was Liz.
Okay, so she's kind of like a Liz, I guess, in this, because she's not Mary Jane, she's not Gwen.
Yeah, I guess this, to be clear, this is a parallel to No Way Home, not a parallel to OG animated series Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, because the Midtown High, OG Spider-Man didn't take place in high school.
Okay, yeah, we should say this is a high school setting.
Yeah, so they're they're picking up off the Homecoming MCU Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I guess that makes sense that they have a Liz character who's not Gwen or Mary Jane.
Not yet, right? Yeah. I guess she'll probably show up later. So Peter has a crush on her. She's older than him, which I thought was also interesting. There's like a 3-year age gap, and she got a man, so it ain't working out. And I actually like how that played out.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the reveal that he had a babysitter.
Yes.
And then later on in the episode, it was her.
Right. Because I was like, when Nico says the age difference, I was like, dang, that girl, like, she like a senior. Yeah. Peter, why you crushing on this senior? And then when her man showed up, I was like, oh, I don't know why you even bothering with her. Peter, go move about your life.
Yeah.
So that is funny. And I guess what else is funny is that Pearl's man is the star football player on the school's team, who is also Peter's science buddy.
Yeah, so I guess Lonnie is supposed to be his Flash.
Okay, but he's a nice Flash.
Yeah, so that's a difference. So typically in the comics and animated series for Spider-Man, him and Flash are rivals and then friends.
Okay.
It seems like they just go straight to friends in this.
I wonder if it's going to go friends then rivals.
Well, it seems different. It seems like in this universe, everybody likes Peter.
Yes.
Which is not the same in all the other Spider-Man.
You're right. Peter is he's not like he's not most popular, but he's also kind of like, hey Peter, hi Peter. Everybody's like, oh cool, Peter's here.
Yeah. Everybody's typically kind of mean, like in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans or the Andrew Garfield
because he's like a nerd or whatever.
Yeah, they're usually like mean to him because he's a nerd, but no, everybody's kind of nice to him in this one.
I guess because he's at a school for nerds.
Yes.
So that probably makes a difference.
Yeah, I like that. I like that he doesn't have like, I mean, other
it's not
than
the typical
issues with girls, he doesn't
Right.
have issues being bullied at school.
Right. We don't get the typical bullying because this is like a school for nerds.
Right.
And so it's everybody's like, we all want to be smart.
Right.
So that is cool. And then we also get May. So May is in this.
Mm-hmm.
Who else shows up in this? Oh, and then we get Norman Osborn.
Oh, we get Harry for a second.
Did we get? Oh.
Yeah, for a brief moment.
Peter
totally
saves Harry, right, because he doesn't show up in the rest of the episode.
So they must not go to the same school.
They can't.
Because he didn't show up throughout the rest of the episode.
No, and Harry doesn't show up again until he's briefly on TV for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And they just skipped the channel. I was like, wait a minute, that's the kid from the first one.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, we do get Harry briefly.
Yeah.
And we don't know what Harry does.
Other than be mugged, almost.
Right, and Peter saves him from being... Now, how does Peter always know? Is it the spider senses?
That people are in danger?
Yes.
Yes, it's the
okay.
spider. It's the Peter
I was watching the second episode. I was like, how are you always at the right place at the right time?
They don't really visually show the spider sense a lot in
They
this.
don't,
which
or
I think
at all.
was off-putting to me a little bit. Because usually you're used to seeing like a visual cue that he's having a spider sense.
Lightning bolts or something.
Yeah, but it seems like he just reacts to anytime he hears a police siren or something in this.
Right, or we already see him in action.
Yes.
We start and he's already in action.
Very little spider sense.
Right. And I was kind of like, why Peter always at the right place? So we have the typical issue of Peter's in school. Peter also is trying to be Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Peter also gets an internship from Norman Osborn. So he's trying to juggle all three. No one knows he's Spider-Man yet. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that part. So May doesn't know. Nico doesn't know. None of his none of his friends know.
Mm-hmm.
He does seem like he's trying to be everything everywhere all at once.
He is.
So he's always late.
That's typical.
Everywhere. Even late in the morning. I'm like, Peter, you can't be late you can't be on time at the first part of the day.
Yeah.
So we get all of that. But I like the first two episodes. They were I can see how people were really enjoying it. Because some people are like, this is the best Marvel show, animated show. And I was like, hold up.
No.
It's not better than X-Men 97, but I do like it almost just as much.
I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. X-Men 97 is so good. I used to watch the original X-Men animated series every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to go back and watch them. It makes it hard now. Because X-Men 97 is the same, but so much more elevated.
I wouldn't even... Yeah, it's hard to even compare the two because they're two different shows. I would say... Pacing and storytelling wise, I think they both are really good.
X-Men 97 is trending closer to like an anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a lot more themes in X-Men 97 versus here we have a high schooler, being Spider-Man. For writing these first two episodes, he just in his typical Spider-Man hijinks. He ain't done nothing like super crazy yet. So that was all good. The second episode we get Peter doing a little more crime fighting. He gets an internship from Norman Osborn. Mm-hmm. Now Norman Osborn is voiced by Coleman Domingo in this, so he black in this. Hey, Black History Month. He sounds just like Coleman Domingo.
I like that they kept the hair red.
Okay.
It's a Norman Osborn thing. He's redhead in every universe.
He wasn't.
Except for Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe's not a redhead.
Willem Dafoe had no.
But in the animated series, even when he was white, he was a redhead man with waves.
Okay,
with sporting waves.
He definitely got sporting waves.
He was so strange.
They are strong.
They're like so strong,
right? And I guess we'll briefly touch on this for a hot second. So the voice actor of Spider-Man, Hudson, said something really stupid.
Yeah.
The day before the show premiere, saying that he was worried about Spider-Man being too woke and something else.
Yeah.
This show
cheesy and woke or corny and woke.
Yeah, he was worried about it being woke. Now let me tell you something about this show. We got black people, we got
honestly, the white people are the minority in this show. This is funny. It's so funny.
I was watching this, it was like, this is like the definition of what
somebody said maybe he recorded all his lines by himself.
He must have.
Didn't see any of the other cast members.
This show is the definition of what idiots would call woke because it's got like Lonnie, who's the star football player. Mm-hmm. He's like lives in poverty. Yeah. Like he got to go through 5 different buses and trains.
He was a victim of stop and frisk on his way home.
Racial profiling. Yeah. The lady didn't want to sit next to him on the train.
Yeah.
It was just like, sir, this show is Norman Osborn is black in this.
Norman Osborn is black. He's the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
Oscorp.
There's a bunch of black characters in
They
this.
race bent the Dr. Connors. They made
Dr.
Connors a black woman.
Not only is she black, she's only got one arm.
Yeah,
so
like Rhys Ifans.
Right. So we got people with different type of abilities, disabilities, or whatever you want to call it. I was just like, sir, this show is what y'all would call very woke.
Yeah.
So the fact that he said that was very stupid, and he's got ran off the internet. And we'll see if he keep his job for season 2.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I like Peter Parker, the depiction of Peter Parker in the show.
Okay.
I do think the voice acting is weak. And it's not specific to him.
It's nothing to write home about.
I think his voice acting is a little weak just because it's just a little bland. I think everybody's voice acting is a little bad in this. Not bad, but just bland.
It doesn't stand out. Only person that stands out is Coleman Domingo.
And Nico. And I think that's because they have the better lines.
Nico is very she's kind of funny and sarcastic a little bit. Yeah.
None of the voice acting is particularly exciting.
Yeah.
Especially for a Spider-Man, because you don't see his face, the voice has to be like on point. And like the line delivery and the charisma because he's masked most of the time. So usually everybody who either plays Spider-Man or does the voice work for Spider-Man, the voice work is like good. It's like super good.
Yeah.
This kind of just seems boring.
There is no
inflection.
Which is so funny for him to make that statement because it's like, sir, you could be replaced.
He just doesn't know what the word meant. But
I don't know if he gonna make it to season 2.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It is just so funny because like the people you pander to when you make those type of comments are the people on Twitter who don't watch shows. They just tweet. They don't actually watch the show.
Who probably weren't going to watch this anyway. No. And when you do watch it, you're like, sir, did you read the script? Because there's black characters all up and down. We got people with one arm. We got people that are black. They got flipped to white. They got flipped to black. We got a football jock. We got poverty. Like
the anti-woke crowd doesn't watch television. They just tweet about
and watch YouTube about anti-woke television.
Exactly. They just tweet and watch YouTube. They don't actually watch the series because they want to drive the conversation.
Yeah,
it was just weird.
It was just right before he didn't say it right before the show. Like the interview where he said it came the day before the show came out. I was like, you kind of handicapped this show, which for the first 2 episodes,
that's what
seems pretty good.
The review bombing can pretty much solely be blamed on that.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably
for sure.
And I don't think he realized Spider-Man fans are up there with the Star Wars fans.
Listen,
as far as lunacy.
Let me tell you.
The Sonic fans are trying to get into those ranks as well.
Had to delete all his posts off Threads because people was posting on stuff that wasn't even about Spider-Man.
There are certain fandoms that you are not supposed to speak negatively about.
And then he came back on Threads and people was like, oh, you back? I got something else to say. I was like, sir, just stay off social media.
Yeah. Spider-Man's fan bases are rapid. Anytime somebody makes a comment about Spider-Man, you have a bot.
He's the
pre-programmed to make a rebuttal.
One of the most popular superheroes ever.
Yeah.
Not just like in the United States, just like period. It's Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman.
It's those three. It's literally those three.
And Spider-Man's probably towards the top now because Batman and Superman ain't had 2 good movies lately.
Yeah. No, Spider-Man's pretty much the most consistent.
Probably the most popular of like everything that's ever been created.
I mean, he had like a series in Japan.
It's freaking Spider-Man. Like
yeah.
I don't understand why you would make stupid comments playing Spider-Man. Like
but
I just don't get it.
We live and we learn.
We do. And we'll see who pans out for season 2.
Did you have any particular likes?
Outside of all of the wokeness that I particularly enjoyed about this show, I think I like that Norman Osborn knows that Peter's Spider-Man is
like
early.
It. I think it makes sense because he saved his son. He would want to be invested in the person who did that.
Duh.
Mm-hmm. Oh. It didn't hit me until the end of the episode. I was like, you specifically were looking for the person who saved your son because you wanted to see if you could. Because Nico says that anybody who he gets his claws into ends up doing something shady for him. I absolutely think that's why he pursued Peter.
Oh, dang. Yeah. You're right.
He set himself up for that.
So, yeah, at the very end of the second episode, Peter thinks he's in trouble because he gets back to his internship late. He has to go see Norman. And Norman, he's apologizing like, sorry, please don't fire me. Give me a chance. I want this job. I'll do better. And Norman flips around the security camera and says, so you're Spider-Man, eh? And then the episode goes off. And I was like, oh, oh, how are we going to proceed like this for the rest of the season if he already knows?
I also think he was the one. I think Norman was the one who left the pizza box. Either Norman or Harry left the pizza box that Peter still didn't open in the alleyway.
Oh. I didn't even notice that.
So in the scene when Peter
saves Harry?
No. So at the end of towards the end of episode 2.
Okay.
When Peter stops the chick who was stealing from the pizza parlor.
Yes.
The guy gives him a pizza. He goes to the alley. He eats the pizza.
Yeah.
When he throws the pizza away, he knows there's another cardboard box that's tied up with string sitting on top. And he's like, oh, people are leaving these pizzas everywhere. And he takes it. He doesn't open it. I think there's a suit in there.
Oh, okay. Now I think earlier when they were doing trailers, I think we do see Peter in a different suit. Right now he in some homemade suit that look real thrift store.
I feel like Norman planted that because he knows Peter is Spider-Man. And I think he's going to try to coerce him to work for Oscorp.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows at this point.
Because, I mean, that's Norman Osborn's a manipulator.
Right. Like I do not think this show was going to change Norman to a good guy.
And Tony gave Peter his first suit. So, yeah, that would make sense. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he literally runs Oscorp. Like, where else would he get an advanced tech suit from?
But I like that. That means that,
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it means that different hijinks.
It's a different storyline.
Yeah.
Right? We don't, normally that's like concealed until like the end of something. But now we got it in the early part.
And we've never had a Peter Parker who's working for the bad guy, technically. So that'll be interesting.
And he's a kid too, right? And he's also supposed to be going to school, and he's probably trying to hide his identity. He's clearly not told anybody else he's Spider-Man. So I will say, I'm curious to how this is going to go.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, now that we know there are so many other superheroes who are going to appear here and interact with him.
Yeah.
I wonder what the interaction will be with like Daredevil or Doctor Strange again when they're like, so you work for Norman Osborn. What's that about?
Right.
And even Nico's like,
Nico didn't like when the fact that she learned that he had an internship with Norman. She was kind of like, oh, are you sure that's a good idea? Now May was like, oh, congratulations. You know, she said, I had to look him up. I don't even know who that is.
Because it's probably like every science scratch dream is to work for Oscorp.
Right.
But other people who are in the know are just kind of like, this is.
And Nico is very much our friend in the know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that. Do you have any other likes?
Oh, Lonnie is showing signs of the villain's origin story. I like that. He is.
What do you mean?
He's showing the typical signs that they give a villain origin story.
That he's got a home.
He's the kid who's super smart, who goes to the privileged school, but still only gets like half the pie because he has to go home.
Because he has to work. He works harder.
He has to work harder than everybody else. He doesn't get known. He still gets
you're
racially
right. Because he goes home. He's racially profiled twice. Mm-hmm. And then he, as soon as he gets in, he like helps his brother with his homework, helps his mom with her car. It's kind of like, dang, the kid just got in, like he can't even get a break. You right.
He has like the perfect origin for like a street level
they
villain.
Definitely gonna be a frenemy situation.
And because he's so nice and he's such a contrast from like the typical Flash, I feel like that's why they're gonna like break our hearts and make him a villain.
I actually like Lonnie.
like
Lonnie wasn't I was like, oh, he's not like the typical school jock. He's like actually a cool kid.
But the scene when he left school and he waved bye to Peter and he immediately started frowning, and then we watched him walk home and he got home and he immediately had to help his family. I was like, this is like the villain origin story we're doing here. Yeah. So I think they're planting the seeds for that.
Dang it. Now I don't want him to be black.
I liked how excited him and May were when Norman implied the internship was paid. It's funny because Peter's broken every universe.
And their neighbor told them to shut up. I was like, typical New York.
They're broken every universe. Yep. So the paid internship was like the key. Because he was like,
is there money involved?
I like the lizard as the traditional. I think Connors is going to be his first big bad because he hasn't encountered a superhero before, a supervillain before.
I liked her too.
She's a lizard.
Oh,
so
dang it.
It's sad, but they kind of did the same with Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
And Spider-Verse. Yeah. So
yeah,
she seems nice, and Dr. Connors is always nice. Dr. Connors is always a scientist that's nice to him.
Yeah, she was super nice and helping him get on board.
And then he has to help her figure out how to grow an arm back, and then because he helped her, she goes crazy, and then he has to defeat her.
Dang.
So I think that's how it's gonna go.
All the parts are there for this to be real good.
But it's a different universe, so maybe she won't.
Okay.
They could pull a twist, but she's definitely the lizard.
Okay.
So I do like the change of the lizard.
Okay.
thought it was strange that he was well liked. I mentioned that.
I like that he's not bullied.
I thought it was strange, but I like it.
Yeah, okay.
Because we've seen it already. We don't need to keep seeing it.
You're correct.
And the last thing I had was my favorite line.
Okay, I didn't have a favorite line, but go ahead.
So at the end of episode 2, when he's saving the building from arson.
Yes, the crazy arsonist.
From the crazy arsonist guy.
I think I might.
And the guy says, "I'm not a monster, dude. I made sure this place was empty before I torched it." I thought that was hilarious. It's like, I'm not a monster. I burned this building down, and it's not the right one.
I was about to say, our favorite part was the fact that Peter was like, "You at the wrong place."
And then he was like, "It's a dump anyway."
Right? He was like, "What?" Oh, well, it's too late now.
It was the fact that he did it for the sake of driving up the prices.
Yeah.
They said he wasn't a monster. He's literally cackling as he's burning his burning homes down. It doesn't matter if you alerted everybody. You burned their home down.
Connected buildings, by the way. It's not like a standalone apartment building.
You're an idiot because it's the wrong building. You're literally across the street. You didn't do enough research.
Right.
You didn't even look at the number on the outside of the building before you went outside and torched it.
I also thought that scene was funny because Peter kicks him across the street to the pet store. He was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize my own." I was like, "Did he kick him?" I thought he kicked him out of the building. I was like, "He gonna kill that man."
Yeah, it didn't seem he knows his own strength because he didn't know he could stop that van either.
Oh yeah.
so
I do like the personality of Peter.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like the depiction of the character. The voice work could use some help, but I feel like that goes for everybody.
I agree.
Yeah.
Except Coleman Domingo.
Did you have any dislikes?
Outside, I do feel like for the animation, the mouth movements don't match the words, and that was kind of distracting to me. And I guess by the second episode, I just ignored it.
I think that's the frame rate thing.
Okay.
I think not everything is moving at the same frame rate.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think the background is smooth, but the character movements are a little choppy.
Because when May drops Peter off to school for his first day, she's talking, he's talking, but I was like, don't feel like it's at the same time. So that was a little weird. But as far as like the storyline and whatnot, I liked it. I feel like I liked all the little surprises, like the fact that his crush was his babysitter, and the fact that his babysitter already had a boyfriend. Like all of that's good. I didn't have too many dislikes.
It's always, you run a risk when you experiment with frame rate. Yeah. Remember the Gemini Man, that Will Smith movie?
Oh,
that had too many frames.
That was also weird.
That was like 120 frames per second. I think humans can only like depict images in 60.
There's a good YouTube video that breaks that down. And was like, oh, this is why this is weird.
They do that when they want to do something different. It's risky. You just never know.
It's risky, but I feel like the story is making up for it.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of old cartoons that were 3D, like Reboot.
Okay.
They move at that speed or that type
like
of frame rate.
Fast.
But this is like a flat image. Yeah.
You're right.
Or like the Beast Wars Transformers.
Yes.
They're like a little choppy.
Yeah, it is a little choppy.
But I didn't have any dislikes, really.
No, I'm actually curious of how this, like, outside of what you laid out, I was like, oh my black people gonna turn into villains. I am interested where the story's going.
I'm interested in where the story's going. I do hope Nico becomes a witch. I think that'd be a waste to not like give her powers. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. And Spider-Man usually has other good guy friends who are superheroes. I wonder if the Avengers will make an appearance. They do name drop them.
There's a Tony Stark. May has a Tony Stark little thing on her rearview mirror.
So Iron Man exists.
Yep.
But in the scene when he's beating up the guys who are trying to chase after Harry, he gets on the webcam.
Yes.
Or on the live stream, and in the comments they say Spider-Man's the next Avenger, or they say this guy is the new Avenger. So the Avengers exist. I wonder what they're comprised of, like what the roster is.
It's probably Iron Man of one. I'm assuming if he's popular enough to have a car ornament.
So we know Iron Man and Captain America probably.
A Doctor Strange?
We know he exists in a different universe. We don't know if there's a Doctor Strange in this one.
Well, Doctor Strange is at the beginning.
Was that?
We don't know where he came from.
Yeah, because he said it seems like he wasn't supposed to be in that universe.
He says that. He was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here."
Yeah.
Where are you supposed to be at?
Yeah.
How did you accidentally show up here?
I did like the Doctor Strange scene though.
I wasn't expecting it.
I like that. He could still reverse time without the time stone. That was interesting.
Oh yeah, he used all of the.
He had like all the powers.
I was like.
Cape was there. Cape was helpful.
Cape was working.
Yeah, so I did like the Doctor Strange
went
cameo.
Longer than I thought it might have went.
Yeah, I thought it. Yeah,
so just everything up.
So the spider came from a different universe. That's the same as Miles Morales.
Oh, you're right.
But they didn't actually acknowledge whether or not he has a Doctor Strange. They didn't walk past the Sanctum Sanctorum or anything.
And they didn't seem to know they didn't seem frightened, but they also didn't seem to know who he was.
Is Nico just going to be their one magic user in this universe?
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot. I can see why it's already greenlit for season 2 and I don't know about 3, but definitely they said there's a season 2 coming.
There's a lot of cameos rumored from other superheroes like Daredevil and such. But the Doctor Strange cameo made me excited to see the other ones because that one was done really well and it went long, which makes me think the other cameos are going to be good and worthwhile.
It went long and it didn't it wasn't a plot point essentially.
No, it kind of just came and went.
He came, he did what he had to do. He tore up some stuff. He took the monster with him and left. And it was kind of like, oh, bye.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like we got to come back to this for something. He just, he was in the wrong
knows he wasn't supposed to be in the
wrong
first place.
wrong time. So that was cool. That was cool. Good cameo. Good cameo.
All right. That's all I have for likes and dislikes. Do we want to rate these shows?
Sure. Okay. So for the first 3 episodes of Severance, I'm giving 5.
Okay.
Nicole Kidman's. And then for the first 2 episodes of Spider-Man, I'll give 4.
Okay.
And taking 1 off because I feel like the voice work is just okay.
Yeah.
And some of the animation matching up with the mouths is just a little weird.
Yeah. So I would echo that. I'll give it a 5 for the first 2 episodes of Severance.
Okay.
It's picking up. It's the same.
It's
like
still
we dived right back into it.
It's still good.
Oh, random Severance theory. Somebody which I kind of agree with thinks that Milchick lied about the length of time it's been. It may not have been exactly that long.
Oh, I think the whole newspaper thing was fake.
The newspaper thing was definitely fake.
Yeah.
I think there was a small passage of time because they definitely got fired and they had to go get other jobs. I don't think it's been as long. And somebody pointed out that if it was 5 months, Milchick wouldn't still be moving into his office.
You're right. It's probably been a week.
And it was still full of boxes. The screen hadn't been converted over yet. But we know that Milchick had been working since the incident.
Doing something.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's probably been like a week.
Probably. And nobody's addressed it. Nobody's actually on the outside.
Or asked.
Nobody on the outside has actually said anything about the passage of time.
Probably because it's been so quick.
Yeah. And it seems like Cobell just moved out suddenly to Mark.
Right.
So I don't think it's been as long.
Man, Milchick is digging his heels in to be a bad. Milchick and Helly.
So 5 for me for Severance. Okay. For Spider-Man, I'll give it also a 4 for the same reasons.
Okay.
I was a little disappointed with the voice work from everybody. But other than that, I think it's fun.
Even Coleman?
No, Coleman and Nico was good. Okay. Everybody else. I kind of feel like May was kind of extra bland.
Oh, May was.
I'm not a fan of this Aunt May.
May was just there.
She's just there. She's just in appearance.
May was just there.
And even though we're not there for May.
I mean, like she's important, though.
We're not there for May, but May is important. Gonna be there? We like May being there.
Is she going to be there? Then, she need to be there.
I wasn't a super fan of her voice work. No. She sounds a lot older than the character looks.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. There.
But other than that, I think the show's really good. I'll keep tuning into it.
So we're going to recommend you check out both, follow both. I actually looked up on the Wikipedia page, it says the next 3 episodes of Spider-Man come out on the 5th of February, then 3 more episodes come out on the 12th, and then the last 2 come out on the 19th. So every week they're releasing a chunk, who is playing around with release schedules over at Disney?
Why do they need to end it before some of the movies come out?
Well, why not just release it all at once if you're releasing it in chunks? They're
releasing it in chunks to keep the churn down.
Okay, fine.
But it's very interesting.
Unsubscribing from Disney Plus.
It's very interesting that they're trying to get this out before, right after. They're trying to get this out before Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, but right after Captain America.
Literally 5 days later, it ends. I don't know, but I thought I was like, I've never seen.
Because usually when they do that because the series might tie into something. Maybe. I'm interested. It's a very interesting release schedule.
It's weird.
Chunks at a time is interesting.
It's either all at once or weekly. They was like, no. Or a what if one every day.
Yeah, it's not even like a
4th different release schedule.
It's not even like 2 at the beginning, 1 in the mid, 1 every week in the middle, and then
2 at the end. Like X-Men, I think was like that.
Yeah.
And WandaVision.
Yeah.
Who playing games? Bob, what are you doing? It's weird. But
Yeah.
anywho, check out both shows. Severance is definitely going to take 10 weeks.
It is.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is going to wrap up before the end of February. So if you got any time, definitely check it out. And I'm also going to check out Paradise. We're not going to review it, but I'm going to come back and tell y'all what I thought about it.
So wait a minute. Let me see. Let me get my calendar up. Last episode comes out when?
Of what?
Of Spider-Man?
The 19th. February 19th.
February 19th.
Mm-hmm. Brave New World comes out February 14th.
Okay. I was going to say it was going to be a double episode, but no. So it's going to have to be a double episode with something else.
The Monkey.
Spider-Man and the Monkey.
It comes
Spider
out.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Spider
A
Monkey.
spooky and a fun.
A spooky and a fun. We got to go see
Yay.
the Monkey because it's got good promo for sure.
Yeah.
Two very different.
We have to go see Captain America twice.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll see you for it.
We have to go see it on
Opening day.
release.
Yeah.
And then we should go see it on President's Day.
Okay. Sure. Just goes.
Just cause.
Just goes. Get to run them numbers out.
Right.
Run them numbers out.
All right. So that is our 2 reviews of this week. 2 shows that are out right now. Absolutely go watch them. What are we watching next week?
So we are either watching Hard Ass.
Okay.
If I can handle it. I don't know yet. TBD.
Okay.
TBD. Or Love Hurts. They both come out the same weekend.
Love Hurts goes to theaters?
That is not a good sign.
Is
yes.
They're not advertising it
They
very
are
well.
not
They are
advertising.
not. I've seen a lot of ads for Card Eyes.
They ain't advertising it none at all. But I want to support I can't think of his name.
Ki Kwan?
Thank you.
Yeah. And Ariana DeBose.
And Ariana DeBose.
Yeah.
But they're not promoting this movie.
So 2 Valentine's films, technically.
So, you're correct.
So let us know.
I
Either a fun or a spooky.
Yeah, it ain't about to be both.
It's not about to be both.
It ain't about to be both. I don't
So
know.
either Heart Eyes or
I'm
Love
gonna
Hurts.
give Hard Eyes another look to see if it's not too scary. Then I'll go. I just don't like his mask. His mask looks creepy to me.
The mask is a little skin textured.
It is.
Yeah.
It's given
Hostile.
Yeah. It would be okay if it was kind of like the Riddler in Batman.
Well, that's the same mask except his was tape.
Yeah, I
This
don't
one
mind
looked
tape.
like skin.
This one looked like somebody's skin been on this.
And it didn't glow.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna sleep on it.
Okay.
But thanks for listening. If you like our show, please give it a share. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on our website, vaguelynerdypodcast.com, where you can also leave a voicemail. We will play it on the show if it is appropriate. If it's not, I will give a rebuttal and play your thing at the same time, and we can see how we all feel about it. You can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, Blue Sky, and the Bird app for now. On Vaguely Nerdy Pod. We are also on TikTok as it exists today at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. You can reach us via Gmail at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com. And if you are listening to this on a podcast app, you can also watch our animated show on YouTube, where we are also Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
Yep.
Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.